We started this thing, and now we're on top. Everybody's trying to knock us off. It's us versus them. We must protect this house. Will you protect this house? I will. We must protect this house.
Double up. 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lies, I just run it up. Never let a hard time humble us. Double up.
Peace, Malika.
I ain't telling no lies, I just, I ain't telling no lies, I just, 5, 4, 3, 2, that's time. I got to you, that money, my dreams come true, my life in diamonds. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Who Turn 7 to a 14, 14 to a whole thing. Lord knows it's a cold game. Switched up on you hoes, man. Big body take both lanes. Backseat blowing propane. All black, 5 gold chains. Young rich nigga bossed up on his own, man. My new shit sound like a soul train. Tookie Williams over Coltrane. Eric B by the rope chain. RC, we for show bang. Tiny Lokes and they go crazy. What you know about the dope game? Was you born in the 80s? Did your mama smoke cocaine? Have you ever seen the whole thing? Was you drove to the streets cause you grew up on show change? Fucked up when the dope beige. It remind me when these rappers drop duds and they quotes change. Had to part with the low fade. I was standing in front of Knicks with my sack for the whole day. Drive-bys, I was road rage. And we park and hop out, learn levels to this whole thing. Old school play the OJs, trying to make a slow change. Mama still slaving for a low wage. Trying to double up. 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lies, I just run it up. Never let a hard time humble us. Double up. I ain't telling no lies, I just, I ain't telling no lies, I just, 5, 4, 3, 2, that's time. I got to you, that money, my dreams come true, my life in diamonds. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Who I'll leave it behind if you let me. I'd rather get drowned just to hold you down. I'd jump off the ledge if you're with me. I'll bring you up, you just let me down. Let me down.
With my own money and chain too.
Let me down.
It's hard to catch what you can't see. I grew up to be who I wanna be, so the more niggas talk, I'ma shine. Might have been way before it's time. Post with my back against the wall. Life is a bitch, but she mine. The rag 6 dude, yeah, it's mine. The west side too, yeah, it's mine. What you know about? Your poster on the wall at the dealership. Leaving in the bed, legs trembling. Getting banged on for your penalties. What you know about? Your response be the reason you exist. Lucky I ain't get caught up in the twist. Young nigga blue pager on my hip, so as the champagne spill and the car accelerate and the peak gon' cry. I'll be going to the bank at least 3-4 times. Get handshakes from the branch managers. We keep doing fly shit when the cameras cut.
Double up. 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lies, I just run it up. Never let a hard time humble us. Double up. I ain't telling no lies, I just. I ain't telling no lies, I just. 5, 4, 3, 2, that's time. I got to you that money. My dreams come true. My life in diamonds. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Who I'll leave it behind if you let me. I'd rather got drowned just to hold you down. I'd jump off the ledge if you're with me. I'll bring you up, you just let me down. Let me down. Let me down. Well, I want you to notice when I'm not around. Know that your eyes see straight through me. Speak to me without a sound. I wanna hold you, protect you from all of the things I've already endured. I wanna show you all the things that this life has in store for you. I'll always love you the way that a father should love his daughter. When I walked out this morning, I cried as I walked to the door. I cried about how long I'd be away for. Cried about leaving you all alone. I wanna hold you, protect you from all of the things I've already endured. I wanna show you all the things that this life has in store for you. I'll always love you the way that a father should love his daughter. Sweet Zoe Jane. Sweet Zoe Jane. So I wanted to say this, 'cause I wouldn't know where to begin to explain to you what I've been through, to explain where your daddy has been. So I wanna hold you, protect you from all of the things I've already endured. And I wanna show you all the things that this life has in store for you. And I'll always love you the way that a father should love his daughter. Sweet Zoe Jane. Sweet Zoe Jane.
For the block, boy. Take it rough. Every day has been the same old thing on my block. You either working or you slinging on my block. You had to hustle, cause that's how we was raised on my block. And you stayed on your hop until you made you a knot on my block. To hang out was the thing back then. And even when you left out, you came back in. To my block from Holloway, Belford to Scott. Reed Road to Flocks, we know the spots. Drink all the blue dots on your block. You probably bred a fat pat of Tupac, a big pun, a B.I. Your homeboys from knee high, and even when it was storming outside, that be by. That's me, dog, on my block. I ain't had to play the big shot. Knew me back when I was stealing beer from Shamrock, and my nickname was Creepy. If Black Jew could see me, he'd be tripping. And I bet he still try to tease me. My block, where everything is everything for cheesy. My block, we probably done it all, homie, believe me. My block, we made the impossible look easy for cheesy. I'll never leave my block, my need me. On my block, we ducking haters and the cops. I rock, we racing Palmer's chrome dot. On my block, it ain't no different than the next block. You get drunk and pass out and they pack you to the hot. And when you wake up on the couch, you're going right back at it. On my block, when you're that up, they laugh at it. On my block, it's just another day in the heart of the south side of Houston, Texas, making your mark. On my block, we're queuing all the time, playing dominoes. Keep the swishing sweet down till my mama goes back inside. Then we can fly, pass it around a few times and get high. Blah blah, where everything is everything for cheesy. Blah blah, probably done it all, homie, believe me. Blah blah, we made the impossible look easy. But blah blah, I'll never leave my block, my need me. Blah blah, where everything is everything for cheesy. Blah blah, we probably done it all, homie, believe me. Blah blah, we made the impossible look easy. But cheesy, I'll never leave my block, my need me. Blah blah, everybody business ain't your business. What's going on in this house? Staying here, comprende. On my block, you had to have that understanding. Cause if you told Miss Maddie, she went and told Gladys.
Thank you, Sally.
Your mama got it, it was all on the wire. And when
Happy
the word
Mother's
got
Day to
back,
you.
they said, yo, it's on fire. On my block, we got some non-fed shell shock. We never quite got right. Now they in hell. On my block, it's like the world don't exist. We stay confined to this small little section we living in. On my block, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Cause I love these ghetto boys and girls. Born and raised on my block. Everything is everything for cheesy. My block, probably done it all, homie, believe me. My block, we made the impossible look easy. For cheesy, I'll never leave my block, my need me. My block, where everything is everything for cheesy. My block, we probably done it all, homie, believe me. My block, we made the impossible look easy. For cheesy, I'll never leave my block, my need me.
What's up, YouTube? This is Artisan MC, and this is Shop Talk Live. Thank you guys for coming through. Hit the like button as you come through the door, and if you feel so inclined, support the channel. Links are in the description. So today is a little funny because I completely forgot. Oh, thank you, Cats. Let's see that cash out. Appreciate that, Cats. I don't tell you enough. You like one of the backbones of the Black Manosphere or this red pill space. So I appreciate that. So to everyone who actually has a child or is a mother or has raised some kids, because I know there's at least one person I'm thinking of right off the top of my head who has raised their siblings like a mother and done a good job with that shit. Much respect to you guys. I know I bash on. It can seem like I bash on women a lot, that I'm hard on women, but believe it or not, I actually love women, and like we say a lot in this space, I want them to be better. I want them to be better and stop messing up these children. So, salute to those women who are mothers by virtue of having sex with me and letting me go raw and skeet skeet. I'd say it jokingly, but it's the truth. My kids can attest to that. That they know the truth about their conception. There was no mysteries left for them. No purviews. Oh, you guys can't see anything, can you? Let's see what's going on with my picture at the moment. Camera not showing up. I don't see it showing up. It's been hidden on the stream. What the fuck, dude? Okay. Let's do that. How about now? Can y'all see me now? Press a 1 if you can see me and hear me clearly, because if you can't hear me clearly, I'm going to pull this fucking microphone out and throw it across the room on camera. So, that'll be it. There we go. I'm a black hole, but I'm not that damn black. There you go. I see some shit now. Fabulous. We are disco now. But yeah, like I was saying, there are at least two women, only two women, that can thanks cats, that can attest to. Hey, what's happening, Ford and Herb? What's good? What's good? What's up, James Keels? At least two women, Ford can attest to that can have the distinct pleasure of being the ones to bear my seed. And whatever they may say about me, like or don't like about me, they can't say that they don't love those children, that those children are not the greatest gifts that they have had in this world, and that they're not great kids. And one of them, my youngest out of my two, has turned 21 today. So I was talking to her last night for about 3 hours. She's off in college, and I had to talk to her on video chat. But we are having a good conversation and laugh, and I'm just sitting there looking at her on the screen because I'm a proud father. I take a lot of pictures of her. When I get a chance to talk to her, I do take a lot of screenshots, and I don't tell her. I just take them for myself because I do miss her at times. And I can remember falling in love with her all over again, basically. I can remember her being born and being there with her and teaching her to crawl and carrying her to the comic shop in her bassinet, sitting her on the counter of the comic shop that I now work in, and how I raised her in that environment and just fun with her. And I do this for both of my kids. Both of my kids are just loves of my life, put it that way. Yeah, loves of my life. So thinking about my daughter specifically today because it's her day. I love that girl. I love that girl to death. Which is why I know, what's up, Tom Malone? Which is why I know anything happens to her, it's going to be fucking hell on earth for a lot of damn people. I'm sorry. Just know that. My son was the first, my daughter was the second. It's only two seeds, and those get fucked up. I don't care about none of y'all. I'm just saying. It's just an honest statement. I'm a father. I love my kids. So, on this Mother's Day. It's special for her. It's her 21st birthday, and it's her mother's Mother's Day. So that has been the case since she was born. It's always that Mother's Day baby. So salute to the, not salute, but happy Mother's Day to the ex. Happy Mother's Day to my son's mother. That although there is difficulty in our relationships, I can't say that they're 100% terrible people. I can bitch about them all the time because, look, you fucking did me wrong. What the hell am I supposed to do about that? But they did give me my children. They did give me my son and my daughter, who I love dearly. So every rose has its thorns, so to speak. And those are the two best things that you can get out of a woman that you can no longer talk to or don't like, and vice versa. So it's just an interesting day for me, to say the least. So when I initially started this stream or set up this stream like last week, I wasn't even thinking about it being Mother's Day. I wasn't. I didn't think shit about that. I knew it was going to be my daughter's birthday, but not that it was going to be Mother's Day. So, having a lot of conflicting ideas going on with what I wanted to talk about and what's actually going on today. Because there's geek stuff, and there's a lot of geek stuff that I wanted to go over. But there's also a lot of life stuff that can be gone over and has nothing to do with fucking guys necessarily. It's about more black men being killed and more just dumb shit, just attacks on black men altogether. And I can think of at least one mother off the top of my head thinking about this recent news report with Ahmaud Arbery, who ain't thinking about fucking Mother's Day right now. I mean, she may know about it, but she doesn't. I'm sure she's not trying to celebrate it like that because her son is gone. And two other dudes who are responsible for this man's death, it's probably calling their mothers, telling them Happy Mother's Day. So it's interesting. I'll talk about that more later. But I'm not trying to have it somber, but a lot of things were swirling around in my head before I started this, and it was not the hyped up geek stuff, so to speak. It was a little bit more introspective, which I tend to be. But at the same time, shout out to all the mothers. I saw Sally in here. I know she's probably having a good time with her little Scorpio. So, good. Have a good time. Have that coffee. Make her make you some breakfast and some brownies or some shit. Another friend, I think she's still pissed off because I checked her about her behavior. So, that'll be what it is too. But anyway, geek shit, YouTube, life shit, right? This time I'm gonna flip it up with the life stuff, since I can get that out the way and get back to something fun. Because if I do the life shit at the tail end, I'm gonna be pissed off, and you probably won't want to see that shit at all anyway. One more time, if you guys can hear me clearly, hit a 1 in the chat. I'm just checking this fucking microphone. What's up, Albert Bird? Birdman of the Manosphere, back in the building. Just throw a 1 in the chat so I can tell, because I can't hear the difference on this mic. I only hear it on the playback, and after the playback, it's too fucking late. It's already recorded. There's nothing I can fucking do about it. But I need to make a decision on this microphone right now, and if it's not coming through loud and clear, when I'm talking, then there will be destruction and carnage. There will be carnage. And this mic will feel the wrath. Sounds well. I guess it sounds decent. Okay. So I'm going to roll on. I'm in my revelry in my head, so I'll try to just move on. So, first thing being with this life stuff, since I'm already in that vein, this Ahmaud Arbery stuff. I still have to go back and watch the rest of Dr. Tiasan Johnson, shout out to him, his panel that he did the other day with Dr. Tommy Curry, what's her name, Zakia, and Dr. Cleo Madongo. I think that was his name. I don't want to I hate messing up people's names. That's like, to me, that's disrespectful. But I had missed that fucking stream. What was it called? Not Another Hashtag. I was at work. I was getting ready for, the stream I was going to do with Dr. Tiasan and Angry Man and BGS. And I hadn't watched that one. And when I clicked over, I caught the last 45 minutes of it. That shit was fire. That shit was a fire fucking stream. Like a flamethrower through the internet. Because Dr. Curry was going in. And that motherfucker was yoga flaming that shit. For real. But it highlighted a case that I wasn't trying to pay that much attention to. Thanks, J3. Thank everybody for hitting them ones. Fan interaction is good. But I did a little bit of research on the case today and was looking at it. And I would think, personally, that this shit should have been done with by now. With all this senseless killing of black men for going about their regular fucking life and just living. And somebody having an issue with them sucking air in their fucking neighborhood. I would have thought that shit was over by now. I would have hoped it was over by now. But apparently, some motherfuckers ain't done of running up on a black man, jogging down the street, peeking in an abandoned house, whatever the fuck he was doing, and jumping out of a truck with guns, and then trying to use the defense that it was self-defense after they've killed this man. It's two dudes on one with guns jumping out on an individual in shorts and a t-shirt and no weapon. And you thought you were in self-defense of your fucking life. Get the fuck out of here. In my city I'm from, Richmond, even the city I'm in right now, which is Vallejo, California, the V. If two black men that look just like me, roll up on me while I'm jogging down the street and jump out with fucking guns, it is a self-defense situation. Somebody will be fearing for their life. I do not think it's the two motherfuckers with guns. It's probably going to be me. And it's probably going to be a pitched fucking battle to save my fucking life and get out of that goddamn situation. But if I get killed, somebody, the third member of this 2-man crew or this 3-man crew who's stopping this dude and recording this situation, everybody got guns except the dude that's dead, record the shit and then say, oh, it was self-defense. Self-defense for fucking who? Y'all had guns. Even the cameraman. You know who didn't have a gun? The motherfucker that's dead in the street. I don't want to hear this shit about self-defense. Fuck them dudes. Fuck them to hell. And I don't give a fuck if they white, black, Latino, Arab, Chinese, COVID-infested motherfuckers. I don't give a shit. Fuck them. Fuck them. That was some bullshit. Now I'm listening to this story from the news reports and shit like that. And the first thing I'm thinking of is, oh, well, they had some break-ins in the neighborhood. And the first thing I thought of is all them times I got pulled over by cops riding my bicycle being in a neighborhood. And that ridiculous fucking trope that they use to pull me over and harass me and want to know where I am, who I am, and where the fuck I'm going, and using that damn excuse, well, it was some stuff happening in the neighborhood. You know what stuff is happening in the neighborhood? You motherfuckers harassing black men. That's the shit that happens in the neighborhood. Because by saying that shit, you're saying that black men do not belong in your neighborhood. That's the fuck you're saying. That's the excuse used if I went out right now with my fucking toaster and rolled through fucking Concord somewhere in some nice area, Black Hawk, and did it long enough, some cop would pull me over and use that goddamn excuse. That is a fucking excuse. And a lame one at that. A lame fucking excuse to stop and harass you about any fucking thing. To roll up on you like they some fucking Nazis. Papers, please. Where are your papers? I don't want to hear that shit. Now, it will sound fucked up, but why is these two dudes ain't dead? Why the fuck not? Sounds fucked up to say, but why the fuck ain't they? This dude dead. You don't even get his side of the story. If the third man in the crew, who was the lawyer for these other two dudes, wasn't recording this shit, you probably still wouldn't have seen that. And he wasn't even the one that released it. So what the fuck? Now, mind you, I've worked construction. I know what a house looks like being built. And if I'm in a nice neighborhood jogging through it, and I see a house with no fence around it that's being built, I will look inside to see how far along they are. You know who does that shit? People who are interested in buying a house or seeing what the fuck is going on. Because what can you do to a house that's under construction? There's nothing to steal. Wood? Copper pipes? What the fuck? That's lame. It's a lame fucking excuse for two dudes, three guys, to ride down on this man and stop him in his path of travel and hop out their car with fucking guns. Who deputized you? When did you become a cop? Now, from my understanding, the father in this group, because I'm not going to even use their names, fuck them, everybody knows what's going on. He is an ex-cop. He is an ex-cop and mixed in with the DA department. Did some work for him. Okay, so this makes him a good old boy. Good to know that network is alive and well. This shit should be like past gone. And the only reason I can think of to why it's not is that none of these motherfuckers who have killed these black men wind up fucking dead. That's the only reason I can think of for it. Because if killing black men came with the premium of now you sacrificed your life as well, I'm sure it would stop. I'm pretty sure it would stop. How do you end up stopping a war? You probably end up killing more of them than they was killing of you. That cuts that shit down pretty quick. There are penalties for some shit. And nobody that I can see here is actually paying the ultimate price for making other motherfuckers pay the ultimate price. What's up, Art Neutral? Art Beats. Yeah, James Kill. James, I'm not even worried about some old ass bitch looking out the window. That's what she do. I can look right out my window right now, and there's an old ass bitch to stay across the street from me. I call them the Gray Fox crew. Now that old ass bitch always worried about what's going on over here in this house, but didn't see a goddamn thing when my car got broken into and it's parked in front of her house. What that tell you? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about no old bitches. You know why? Because they ain't nothing but trouble. All she can do is wait for her old man to die and leave her the house, so she has somewhere to kick it in needlepoint with the rest of the Gray Fox crew until she dropped dead at 100 or something. I don't want to hear that shit. What's up, Kane Asada? I'm sorry, I wasn't reading the chat. I was in my fucking space. So this shit with Aubrey, I know everybody is beat it to death, but I ain't said nothing on this shit. I really didn't, and I had to speak my piece on this shit. The son, the main one with the fucking shotgun that jumped out the truck. That is one of the worst ways I can think of to go. To get shot with a rifle, a shotgun, point blank range, right up to you. That is one of the worst ways to fucking go I can think of. And I can think of some really fucked up shit. That's fucked up. How can you even claim self-defense? And one of the things I was hearing on the news, which was interesting, was like, why is these motherfuckers not in jail? Exactly. Here it is, May. We're hearing about this case. This shit happened in February. Pre-COVID lockdown. Pre-COVID lockdown. Now, they ain't pushing forward on this shit because they're using COVID as an excuse. Ain't no goddamn excuse, because best believe if I took my monkey ass out here right now and shot some white dude in the street, they would stop everything to come get my ass. I could be coughing and snotting out the nose, yelling I got fucking COVID, HIV, everything else. They gonna hem my ass up and I'm gonna be in jail. Today. Bet money on it. Bet dollars to fucking donuts. What's up, BGS? Yeah, I know it's Georgia, but fuck Georgia. Everybody I know that comes from Georgia hates fucking Georgia. And that's why they move the fuck out of there. And even now, where it's supposed to be so liberalized that you got all the flood of homosexuals from every race, color, and creed flocking to Atlanta and Georgia, fuck that. Fuck all that, dude. Like, look, if this gonna be 2020, is this gonna be the new millennium and all the rest of that good shit, and you want all of this fucking equality, well, let's just say this. Motherfuckers equally need to be falling for this shit. What was that end of New Jack City? Yeah, Nino Brown got away. What happened? What happened? Old bastard that it wouldn't matter if he spent life in prison popped his ass on the stairs of the court. Why? Yeah. What's up, brother Bishop Red Pill? Why the fuck not? Right the wrong. Look. I believe that people should pay the price for the shit that they do. I know I pay it all the time. Always. Even shit I don't necessarily do. I was talking about that yesterday on the chat with the brothers. I pay for shit I don't even do. I pay for shit that motherfuckers think I fucking did. Think I did. No proof that I did it. But I still pay for that shit. These motherfuckers can wholesale kill black men whenever, for whatever fucking reason, always a goddamn excuse. They're the motherfuckers with the most guns and they're the most scared of fucking black men. So much so that no matter what altercation they get into where a gun is involved, the black dude is always the one dead. But they were fearing for their life. You shouldn't have a gun if you that goddamn scary. Your ass need a pencil. And don't tell me you can't do shit with a pencil. Everybody loved John Wick and he killed a bunch of motherfuckers with a pencil. So fuck you. I'm tired of seeing this shit, dude. I really am. I really am. At times like this, I remember the Bay Area rapper and BJ, Bishop Red Pill in here, he can remember this. He can co-sign this. I remember Ascari X from the Bay. I remember Ascari X from the Bay. And he made a song about this same kind of bullshit. And being tired of white folks and this bullshit with them. Now, if you don't know who Ascari X is, that motherfucker, I don't know if he's still in jail. He might still be in jail for that shit. Because he made a song about Hide Tonight. That was the name of the song, Hide Tonight. And it's a song about a brother going and killing a bunch of white folks. They didn't like him. You know what they did? Found out that shit was probably kind of true. Threw his ass in fucking jail. Here you have another, not the first, not the fifth, black man killed on camera, assuming to be doing something. No proof of none of that shit. But what you do have proof of is a cold-blooded fucking murder that looked like some shit out of a movie in the South. And a bunch of fucking hick white boys in a pickup truck jumping out with guns and get this nigger out of my neighborhood. He was up to something. This shit is disgusting. It's not disgusting in the fact that it's not disgusting for the fact that it happened. It's tragic that it fucking happened for that brother because he's 25 fucking years old. 25. If the report I saw was accurate, he's 25 years old. That motherfucker ain't even fully grown yet. His brain just hardened a year ago. And we're supposed to stand by and listen to this bullshit about how, well, nothing's going on because of COVID, so when June opens up, then maybe such and such. You mean these motherfuckers are still walking the street, going about their daily life, buying their toilet paper and their meat and all this other bullshit while they ain't killed this man and getting no justice? No justice, no vengeance. I'm sorry, but for life taking, there's only two of those that you can actually get. And if the justice system don't want to do their job and do the justice part, then you're only left with the vengeance. That's all you left with. How many black men have been dragged out of places and fucking killed on the assumption that they did something? No proof whatsoever. How many of them have been the recipients of vengeance and not justice? How many? For how long? So what? Look. This shit is disgusting. For me personally. It's personally disgusting for me is this because this is the thing I worry about with my son. This is always the shit that concerns me, just for my son. Not because he's a little asshole. No. Not because he's a terrible fucking dude. Not because he hood as fuck. No. Because he's a regular dude going about his fucking life, trying to raise his kid, be with his woman, put something positive out into the fucking world, and some jackass somewhere can take his life for nothing. For nothing, on nothing, about nothing at all. And can use the fallback like it's convenient that, oh, it was self-defense. So I asked a question to somebody. Why the fuck is these two dudes still sucking air? Why? Can somebody tell me that shit? Because Ahmaud ain't sucking air no more. You ain't proved he was doing shit but jogging, which looks evident in the clothes he was fucking wearing. So somebody explain that shit to me. Because the other stories of the day is this yipe striped skittle haired motherfucker rat bastard popping up out of jail and still talking shit. I know motherfuckers calling for his death. And he ain't doing nothing but, I guess, rapping. I don't know. I don't listen to that motherfucker. But here it is. These two motherfuckers actually killed a black man. Nobody said shit. And I think BGS is right. It's because it's fucking Georgia. Y'all swallow too much of that fucking I have a dream. Stop fucking dreaming. Wake the fuck up and get active or something. Cause who give a fuck about your protest? I'm black. I don't give a fuck about your protest. I don't want to see a protest. I don't. I don't want to see another goddamn protest. For what? What are you going to do with that protest? Is it going to bring this motherfucker back to life? You can't even get the police to arrest these motherfuckers with your protest. Okay. So I don't think I'm being reckless in saying I'm not calling for anything to happen to these dudes. I'm not. I'm asking why something hasn't happened to these fucking dudes. Why not? Why ain't you having a protest around their motherfucking house? Because they got guns? They obviously don't give a fuck about killing one of you. How serious is these fucking convictions? I don't know. But this is how I'm sick of it. Because the fatal part of me is that I have all races in my family. All races in my family. And so when I say these things, understand that my bias, my anger, my rage, my venom is for these people, no matter what race, what ethnicity, what color, what social structure, whatever enmity they have, or animosity, that they have for people of my skin tone and brothers of my stripe, and keep fucking with them. Those are the people I have a problem with. Because for me, there's only two types of people in the world. There's people you cool with, and there's some motherfucking assholes. I don't like fucking assholes. By degree. I'm an asshole myself to somebody. Ford is in here. I'm an asshole to Ford. But Ford is his own fucking asshole too. The problem is, I understand that for all the white men or whatever that are in this world, that programming is still there in you. Just like that slave mentality is still programmed into us. Us educated men, us thinking black men, shout out to Grinch, try to counteract that shit. You enlightened fucking white dudes who try to counteract that programming, it's probably tougher. It's probably tougher. But you still need to counteract that shit too. Because when you stay silent on shit like this, you're a party to it. It's like 5 dudes standing around 5 white guys standing around, and one of you motherfuckers raping this chick. The fact that the other 4 of you motherfuckers was standing there watching this shit and didn't stop it, didn't say shit, you a party to it. You get the same shit this motherfucker getting. And if he got fucking killed for the shit, your ass need to be getting it too. So it's the same thing. If you standing by and looking at something like this on the news, and like, oh, that black dude got killed, and you thinking up a fucking excuse in your head why these 2 dudes should not be guilty of doing exactly what the fuck you can see them doing, then like A Time to Kill, put your fucking ass in the situation of a black dude and make it 2 black dudes holding these guns and see how the fuck you feel about it then. Tell me then how you fucking feel about this shit. And do you think something should be happening? And do you think or wonder in your head, why is these 2 niggas that killed this white man still alive? Think about that shit for a minute. Because that's the question I ask myself. I'm a pool player. I look at shit from every fucking angle to find the truth. That's what I look for, the fucking truth. Not the ethnicity of it, the truth of the shit. The truth of the shit is that they killed this fucking man because they didn't give a fuck about him. Because rolling up on him and seeing this automatically put them in the headspace that this motherfucker don't matter. That's why they popped out on him with fucking guns. And the bitch ass motherfucker sitting in the car recording this shit, cocking his gun too. It's 3 dudes with guns on 1 black dude running down the street in shorts and a t-shirt. What was he breaking into? What could he have possibly been breaking into? Breaking into a fucking sweat? Fuck you people, man. I can't stand you motherfuckers. I can't stand assholes. I can't stand intellectual dishonesty. I can't stand the senseless fucking killing of black men and excuse with the most bullshit fucking excuses you can ever fucking hear in life. That wouldn't work if I used the same excuse 10 minutes from now. Would not work. Nobody would believe that shit. Just like nobody believes these 2 motherfuckers. But you know what? Because you're part of that dominant society, these motherfuckers protecting you. And if they're protecting you, by extension, they're guilty of the same shit. How many black men been put in jail for that same bullshit? I wasn't there for the killing. I was just in the car. You going to jail too, nigga. I'm sick of this shit. What's up, Aquateki? And Ebone Coleman, Ebo Sosa? What's happening? How many? Ain't y'all tired of this shit? I'm tired of fucking seeing marches and demonstrations and shit like that, and nothing fucking changes. That's why these Gen Zs don't give a fuck. They've been seeing this shit long enough. They old enough to look back through the archives and see all these marches and see how people still getting killed and it don't fucking matter. Why do you think they don't give a fuck? They can see it for themselves. That all your bitching and complaining and trying to work through the system got you what? Some motherfucker that pretends to be your leader can fill up his coffers with money? Some motherfuckers that don't give a fuck about your life at all will profit off of your death and start their own political kind of group funded off the dead bodies of black men? And everybody else will still believe these same dumbass tropes that just because he was black and in the neighborhood, he might have been guilty of something. Fucking breathing, apparently. Existing. This has to be fucking sickening. It has to be sickening. So I asked the question, why is these motherfuckers still sucking air? Why is George Zimmerman still walking around free as a fucking bird? Why? I'm curious. I know what I would do if that was my son. My son's stepfather knows that. My son knows that shit. You know why? Because my son told his ass that shit. And that was just about possibly getting into a car accident and all three of us was together. He knows the rules I play by. My son knows that shit. That's been told to him from the time he was old enough and conscious. I understood that when I held him in my hands and gave him his first bath after coming out the fucking womb. I'm gonna die for this motherfucker. Something happens to him, motherfuckers is feeling it. Same thing with my daughter. Something happened to her, motherfuckers is gonna feel it. I am not fucking joking. All the rest of you people in this world that I know that's friends of mine and stuff like that, y'all all well and good. We cool. But something happened to them seeds. Fuck do I gotta care about anybody else for? Why? For what? They ain't replacing my children. And they obviously didn't give a fuck about my children's life. And none of the rest of you motherfuckers did either. Because nothing happened to those motherfuckers for doing it. That's why I was never in the streets like that. I have homeboys that's in the streets. I have family that was in the streets. I was never in the streets like that. I was too academic for that shit. But I also understood early that the perpetuation of this shit for me would be nonstop. Because as soon as something happened, I understand that something needs to happen back. And then something happens back after that, and something happens after that. And from where I'm from, that's called funk. That's how funk gets started. And that shit can be ongoing. And for me, because I believe in ending shit, period, then there's going to have to be some finality and there's going to have to be some totality in that shit. I don't have time to be going back and forth with this bullshit. That's why I don't do a lot of arguing. Don't have time for that shit. I'm not that person who wants to get a pleasure out of arguing back and forth. I don't. I want this shit over. And if that means you got to get a punch in the mouth, shut the fuck up, then that's what's going to have to happen. I believe in balancing the fucking scales. A life? The fuck? So to get on from darker news, I still ask the question, why is this motherfucker still sucking air? Why are they? I don't know. Maybe that's why white folks don't take us serious. Because we ain't never really serious about fucking up nobody but other black people. And they don't give a fuck about that either. Because it serves their purposes. You do the job better than them anyway. Angry Man has attested to this, and BGS has the stats to back it up. 2 million abortions or so a year? 20 million? We do a damn good job of killing black folks. A damn good job. What did the architects say in Matrix? We're becoming exceedingly efficient at it. We kill Zion every fucking year. Every fucking year. Outside of your planned unparenthood. Get that fucking misnomer out of there. Unplanned unparenthood. We'll kill more people out on the street. I can roll right down here to the hood right now today and get myself in a situation with another brother that will end in my life. And I don't have to put up no fight. Don't. I can walk up on that motherfucker, slap him in his goddamn face, and I bet you money he will pull out a gun and kill my ass without thinking about it. But yet and still, that same motherfucker, if you asked him, would you go to Georgia and find these two dudes and put a bullet in them, he'll be giving you all kind of fucking excuses. Oh man, I ain't got time to be dealing with that bullshit and this talks too much and all the rest of that. I said that sounds like some fucking pussy shit. Because as far as I understand, killers don't have a problem killing anybody. That's what makes you a killer. But if you only comfortable doing it to a certain select group of people, primarily the ones that look just like you, I call that self-hate, and that's genocide. You're a genocidal accomplice. At that point, you being more efficient than fucking Hitler. That is the essence of self-hate. And I think Angry Man said it on one of his streams. That's some pushy shit. Straight up pussy. Because the real people you should be having a problem with is the ones you never want to go up against. Not never. You will keep your fucking mouth shut. You will walk in lockstep. You will hum the hymns and sit down in his fucking church every Sunday and ask for forgiveness from his fucking God. Just like every other racial ethnicity that he has fucking conquered and put his religion into. Stupid motherfuckers. And I don't try to disparage black people because I believe speaking life into people and believe trying to, in some senses, tough love help them, but to get them to understand that you got to do shit differently. You have to do shit differently. There is no excuse for not. Not at this day and age, not with this education level of people in general. Not with this much goddamn information out there. It's not. To move on, the other case for black men that came up this week that had me thinking is that CJ King shit. Now, here's how these two things tie in together. And if I wanted to link a third one together, I would use fucking Skittlehead. And how all three of these things are an exhibition of how much hate people have for black men. And how much of that programmed hatred for black men just rests right below the surface. And they don't take shit to disturb it. Like a COVID virus. Don't take nothing. You disturb it a little bit, motherfuckers will come out the woodwork to attack that man. For nothing. This CJ King shit shouldn't be surprising. I'm degreed to a point. I ain't got no love for that shit. Just trying to get it, I got bullshit. Just trying to get it. I've had to have arguments with motherfuckers about getting it. Ford. And the only thing people look forward to after getting it is trying to see what I've done with it and tell me how it wasn't worth it. What's up, Art Moore? Art Beats, all the art beats in the building. The idea of a black man being the prize is an affront to two groups of people and two groups of people only. The supremacy and the gynocracy. That's it. Everybody else don't really give a fuck because it doesn't affect them like that. The only two people who have a problem with a black man saying he's a prize and having an education is people who know that because he has an education, because he recognizes and is awoken a little bit to understand his place in the world and what his value is, that they lose power. They do. I think Tupac said it in one of his songs. Sup, Grinch? Tupac said in one of his songs is, what's the most dangerous weapon? An educated black man. Think about the fire that Tommy Curry spit, or excuse me, Professor Tommy J. Curry spit in a book. Think about the fire he spit in that shit. Think about Grinch right here in the chat room. Think about the fire Grinch spit. From Atlanta, from the fucking hood. Got educated. Did his military service. Think about the fire he spit. Think about Angry Man. Street PhD. Hood HD. Whatever the fuck you want to call it. Intelligent. BGS. Any of these brothers in this space who are actually intelligent and educated. Think about the fire they spit. Now, do you tell me, y'all tell me, what can you do with a black man who is educated and not ignorant and understands his place in the world, his intent and intrinsic value, and what he can affect and what he can do in the world? What can you do with him? Well, for me, there's only two things, because I'm kind of just yes or no on some of this shit. I'm red or blue on this shit. You can either help him or you can either hinder his ass. And in my lifetime, I've got more hinder than I've got help. And that's fucking sad. I don't have a criminal record at all. Well, that thing is gone, but I don't. So the same way that CJ King is talking about how he's the prize, for me in my world, I should be the prize. I should be the person looked up to and helped the most. But what was I? The person motherfuckers want to take down the most. To shit on. To fuck over. Because, why? Grinch, yeah, that shit is trash-tacular. Why? I said it about my city, and I come from Richmond. And you can look this shit up on the internet. Richmond, California's motto is a city of pride and purpose. They take pride in fucking ignorance and they eat purpose. Anybody purposeful in that world who has a mission and are following through with that mission, any man is fucking devoured. You will be the first one killed. You will the first one have something slipped in your drink to have your fucking head fucked up. And you're the first one to be cast out. Because you ain't taking pride in that motherfucking ignorance. Now, you got plenty of people from the South from here. Got their roots from the South. That built up after World War II, came here, built ships and all that stuff. A lot of black people came here for this shit. You know what they kids end up being? These boomer kids? These single black mothers? These ignorant motherfuckers in the hood that don't know shit and can't do shit but kill other people that look like them? That's it. You got some folks like me too. A lot of them. That's why when I hear somebody like a Bishop Red Pill or BJ, I know he coming from the same place. Cause he from the Bay, he see the same shit I'm seeing. It's one thing to have a culture, let's just say Georgia, where it's primarily just black and white kind of mixed together, and having some issues between the two of them. Yeah, that's just two fucking groups. Okay. It's completely different to have cities where you will have at least 5 to 6 different ethnicities all in the same fucking city. And you know the ones who can be killed with impunity? Black men. And you know the ones that people try to fuck over the most from coming up? Black men. Where do these other cultures learn that shit from? It ain't from black folks. Can't be. We're not the dominant society. You can learn some shit, but not all of it. Dominant society puts that into their heads. In education, and an educated black man is the one thing motherfuckers don't accept. They don't accept it. They don't believe it. I've seen this on too many occasions just in my professional working life. In LA too, Art Nustel, yeah, I believe in Nustel. I believe it in LA too. But I've seen it too many times in my professional career that I will innovate, I will change, I will push forward and do things to help everybody in that situation. And motherfuckers look at me like I stole it from somebody. Or will try to sabotage it because I did it. And they didn't. That's just because I got a little bit more go than most people. I'm a Gen Xer, which means I think more independently minded. Why? Because Gen Xers wasn't raised by a bunch of fucking grown folks. Gen Xers, the latchkey generation, learn how to take care of ourselves. And most of us are self-motivated because we didn't have parents there helicopter parenting us and trying to schedule everything for us. No. We did on our own. So when I come to a situation, I recognize the need and I try to fill that situation with what I know I can do. And motherfuckers turn around like, getting them damn duck faces and wanting to fuck it over. That's because they hate to see a motherfucker do something positive. And that's all I do. That's all I do. Now, if I can see that personally in my own life, what do you think I see with the CJ King shit? The same stuff. Same shit. Here this man put out a post on his Twitter. His post, his Twitter. That got picked up by I don't know how many other fucking people. But who is he only talking to? He only talking to his Twitter followers. Did he have a big group of Twitter followers? I don't know. I'm assuming just like any other average fucking person who has a Twitter, it's mostly people you know. That's it. So, who was the motherfucker who put his post out there that they had a problem with it? Somebody he fucking know. And started all this fucking kerfluffle because he had something to say about himself. Not that I have a reason to believe he'd ever see this shit, but CJ, find out who the fuck leaked your Twitter message. Who's the first motherfucker who reposted it? Find them and slap them in their motherfucking head. And I say slap because that's what bitches get. I don't care if it's a male or a female. Give them a slap. Give them that discipline. Give them that discipline slap. Because they need that shit. That's some fucking dumb shit. How can you even argue that? I said this on somebody else's show. That I said this on somebody else's show that if this was a woman in this position, just doing the pool player thing, checking the perspective, right? Seeing if anything's wrong with it. Put a woman in that position saying the exact same thing, you just change certain words. Would you object to it? Thank you, Akuteki. Appreciate that. Hit the like button, support the channel. If this was a black man, if this was a black woman, same position, graduated from the same school, same law degree, put up a Twitter post saying the exact same shit, would anybody have a goddamn problem with it? Now, if your answer is no, then you can see how egregious the shit that's happening to this man is. No, motherfuckers be bigging her up. She would have fucking made the news. She'd have made the news if any black men came out and complained about it. And it didn't have to be but one. That shit would have made the news. But no, because it's a black man saying, I'm the prize, motherfuckers got an issue. Like it hurt them some kind of way. Like it takes something from them. And to see how motherfuckers twist and contort themselves like a goddamn pretzel, or is the fucking Cirque du Soleil, twist themselves into fucking knots to try to make a case for how this is against black women and they just want motherfuckers to be down below them and all. Man, motherfucker. Look. Look, look, look. Some motherfuckers don't need any excuses. And I will say this quote, and I can't remember where it comes from exactly, just because it's frustrating me right now. But the eye that alters, alters all. Don't listen to delusional, self-centered motherfuckers tell you about something that you can see for yourself and understand is a good thing and is a true statement. Get yourself to some like-minded people who understand this is a positive thing. This brother has done something positive. No criminal record, no baby mamas, no out-of-wedlock births. Got out of high school, got through graduate school, went on to get these degrees, and has graduated with a law degree. Which some of you ignorant motherfucking bitches might need. You might need a lawyer. Someday. And because he said he was the prize, y'all want to shit on him and tear him down. What do we really want? Like how can any other race, or excuse me, I hate to keep saying race. How can any other ethnicity of people take us seriously when they see us cannibalize each other like this? Don't give me this shit about black pride and all this fucking power when all I see black people can take pride in is tearing down other black people. Or killing them. Or being as dumb as fuck. Being as ignorant as they could possibly be. On camera. For bucks and shucks. I don't get it. This brother should be commended. Should be commended. But he ain't. Most dangerous weapon. If he's the most dangerous weapon because he is an educated black man, I guess the most effective weapon against black men is the gunocracy. Getting you tripped up in having these out of wedlock births. Fucked up on child support. Not being able to realize your full fucking potential. And to eat and swallow your fucking potential. Tell me I'm wrong. I could probably comfortably say I'm the second generation of that shit happening. I'm the second generation. I'm just smart enough to understand what the fuck is going on. Hopefully, I pushed my son a little bit further than I got pushed because I wasn't pushed at all. I was pushed to get a job and get the fuck out. And I ain't getting no respect for doing either one of those two. I pushed myself to go back to school at a later age and get a degree. I got discouraged for doing that. I got shit on by black males and black women for doing that shit. No support. No encouragement at all. You know what I got for these broad shoulders? Shit heaped on. Shitted on. That's why I laughed when I first heard this goddamn story. Because I can remember in this man's same position, I was getting shitted on that I was broke and wasn't shit before all that. Went back to school, you ain't shit trying to do this. You making people suffer. Okay, I'm educating myself, but I'm making people suffer for trying to educate myself. Okay, what the fuck ever. I graduated, invited all those motherfuckers there so they could all kiss my ass when I was walking the stage. You know what I heard after that? I thought I was better than everybody else. Did that ever come out my fucking mouth? Because I was very clear. I did it for me. Because I know how to see things through. And I'm more on the line of pushing myself to self-actualize and fulfill my potential, regardless of how many people want to diminish it. If I was running around here tooting my own fucking horn, I'd look like a damn marching band. But no, motherfuckers have a vested interest seeing black men fucked up because it props them up. If they can stand on your head and makes them stand 2 feet taller, they all for that. All for it. And hate to see you succeed. But at the same time, they don't have a problem taking shit from you. Which gets me to fucking Skittlehead. Grinch and Angry Man was doing a fucking great service by talking about this motherfucker and how he was disrespecting the game, street culture, and everything all together. Now, I'm not saying his name, but y'all know who I'm talking about if I say Skittlehead. Okay? I never trust a celebrity that starts branding themselves with all this other street shit after they want to become a celebrity. Don't tell me how hardcore gangster your ass is and all your tattoos happen after you were trying to sell an album. Don't tell me that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't. Now, I've never listened to this motherfucker. Never. I couldn't name a song he sung. Skittle Snitch. That works too. I call him Snitch 9. Everybody get it right? T Snitch 9. I saw somebody else's post that since when did it be? I think it was BJ. I think it was you, BJ. I didn't get a chance to watch it. But I think it was you saying, when did it become cool to be a snitch? I never knew it was cool to be a snitch. Especially if you claiming that game that you in. That's supposed to be like a death sentence. So what's up with this? And I hear what Grinch is saying. The fuck, dude? If this motherfucker still sucking air, y'all ain't about shit. Exactly. If you can't make this motherfucker respect you, why should anybody else? He violating. Even if, let's just say, even if motherfuckers gave him the stamp and let him run out there with the colors just to help promote they shit, and he turned around and ratatouille'd on your motherfucking asses, and he don't feel it, that make every other motherfucker that has actually got killed for repping their colors look fucking stupid. Just for repping their shit. They look motherfucking stupid. That mean he bogus as fuck. Now, I said it. I ain't no gangster. I ain't no street nigga. I ain't been a street nigga. I know street niggas, and I was around some of them. But I'm not a street nigga. But even I understand that fucking code. Even I know there's certain shit you do and certain shit you don't do. Because where I'm from, we don't do a lot. We don't do that gang shit. We don't. The Latinos do that gang shit. 13s and 14s, they do that shit. Black folks, you do your block. Where I'm from, you do your block, you do your side. If you from North, you reppin' North. If you from Central, you reppin' Central. If you from South Side, you reppin' South Side. But it ain't no gang. We ain't wearing no colors. It's all about the motherfuckers that stayed on your block. And if you stayed on that block and you was involved with the motherfuckers, and you get popped for something, you start snitching on the motherfuckers, your ass is forfeit. Your ass violated. Major. And somebody will see you about that shit soon. It is like karma. It never loses an address, and it will always show up to get you. This motherfucker doing it on Snapchat or Instagram, whatever the fuck it was on. This must be this millennial loyalty. Because props to Angry Man for playing the clip, because otherwise I wouldn't have seen this shit at all. I wouldn't have. He wasn't on my radar screen to be on my fucking radar. He was not in my quadrant to even give a fuck about. Yeah, BJ. Yeah. Same here. Belong to an organization of some form, and there's consequences when you break the bylaws or the rules. Everyone knows how. BJ, you from where I'm from. You from the Bay. Even in your neighborhood, if it was just you and 5 fucking friends, nigga, just you and 5 friends, I'll give y'all a little story just on me, okay? Even 5 friends in elementary school, we would go after school and we would go to the Montgomery Wards and we'd steal little shit, right? We'd steal action figures, G.I. Joes and shit like that, and I still got that shit because I take care of it. Now, when I got caught doing that shit, because my brother didn't run fast enough from the fucking security, and I don't leave my brothers. That was my biological brother. I wouldn't leave him behind. We got caught. You know what I didn't say? You know what I didn't say? Mind you, I ain't no street dude. You know what I didn't say? I didn't say who else was with me. Didn't. Now I got the slave beating of my life when I got home. Fresh out the bathtub, butt naked, laying on the bed, just taking it. There's a Mother's Day story for you. But never said who I was with. Because that shit didn't matter. Because you're supposed to do the crime, do the time, and shut your fucking mouth. And if you don't want to have to worry about telling on anybody, do your dirt by your lonely. That's it. Now, I'm not a street dude, and I understand that shit. You mean to tell me this skittle snitching motherfucker claiming this hood and claiming all of that shit, talking all this big shit on the record, don't know that? I think any real gangster who's been involved with that life and dealing with police already knows that shit. Is this motherfucker first scrape? Is this his first scrape with some shit? Didn't help him. His ass still went to jail. You might as well kept your mouth shut. You would have gave more respect. Keeping your fucking mouth shut. But no, this motherfucker got to babbling like the brook. On everybody. Who was he pulling down? I don't know who the fuck the people he was pulling and ratting on. I bet you though. I bet you money though. It was a bunch of brothers. I bet you money it was a bunch of brothers. The same ones that was propping him up and protecting his ass, probably. Now he got their whole organization looking stupid as fuck for co-signing this goofy motherfucker. I wouldn't have been able to co-sign the skittle-headed motherfucker anyway. Mm-mm. But I don't know how they roll on the East Coast. I don't know how they roll in I only know what I see. I've never lived on the East Coast. I've never lived in New York. I only know New York for what I've seen on television and the artists that I follow from New York. That's it. But even then, don't sound like they do this shit. Don't sound like it. No. Nah. Don't sound like this shit. But he still get to walk around, suck air, and go on Instagram and talk shit and talk about how much money he shit and got. That's good. Maybe you can use all that money on that watch to save your life. Maybe it'll come in handy to get you some fucking protection. Or maybe, since you was ratatouilleing everybody, maybe you got some protection. Maybe they still looking out for you. That's why you can be on the Instagram talking reckless like that. Trying to see who show up to see about your ass and get them caught up. Maybe. Angry Man played that video. All I heard was a bunch of chick talking points from this nigga. And all I kept hearing, psychologically, right? Looking at it psychologically, all he kept saying was sorry. That's all he kept saying. You know why? It's a psychological tick. He copping fucking please. He was talking some big shit, but it was followed and preceded by I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Because that's what he really want to fucking say. That's what he really want to say. And from my understanding, my man and bro code learning is that a man never says he's sorry. You can apologize, but you ain't never supposed to say you sorry. Unless you a sorry motherfucker. And he looked like a sorry motherfucker. I can't think of any hood outside of the fucking Castro where your skittle-headed ass could be walking through there talking about you a gangster. Tell me which colors you represent. The rainbow? I don't know. From what I've seen of New York dudes, to quote Optimus Prime, I thought they were made of sterner stuff. You disrespecting the whole fucking hood. Not just the people on your crew. Anybody from the same neighborhood you from. Anybody. Anybody still there. They ain't even got to know your ass. Like, no, nigga. So, but at the end of the day, what difference do it make? Right? If we don't take ourselves serious, who else gonna take us serious? If you would prop up a motherfucker like that, what difference do it make? What difference do it make if he ratted? What difference do it make if he talking shit now? You co-sign this motherfucker. I will tell you personally, I'm not for Latino people saying nigga at all. I ain't really for nobody saying nigga. I say it at times when I'm pissed off, but that's an insult. It's meant to be an insult. It was crafted as an insult. Sure, black folks tried to take that shit back, but it ain't for everybody to use. I don't give a fuck how much rap music you listen to. If I hear somebody that ain't black using nigga in a derogatory sense toward a black person, I think they should be getting hit in the mouth. Funniest memory I have is riding Aunt Clara. And if you don't know who Aunt Clara is, that's AC Transit in the Bay Area. The bus system on the East Bay. If you're from Atlanta, it'd be like the MARTA or some shit like that, right? On the bus. And I'm on the bus going to my grandmother's house in West Oakland. And these two teenage boys get on there from Oakland Tech. And this crazy looking white boy sitting on the bus with all these black people, older, younger, kind of spaced out. And these two young boys is in the back just chopping it up. And he turns the fuck around and yells, "Nigger!" on a bus full of black folks in Oakland. Now, he obviously fucking crazy. Don't matter. You know what them two teenagers from Oakland Tech did? Got the fuck up and asked him what he said. What did you say? He had some shit to say back. You know what they had to say back? Hands, nigga. Hands. They put hands on his ass. In the seat. You know what the funniest part of that shit was? After them blows start hitting his ass. I'm sorry. Now he's sorry. Now he ain't crazy no more. Now he understand he fucked up. Just like Skittle Snitch was on there. I'm sorry. Motherfuckers know when they do some shit that's wrong. That's the part that don't leave people. You understand when you violated. You know when you violated. You know when you did some fucked up shit. You do. Fuck. I was listening to the conversation with TSI and BGS and Angry Man again last night. I emailed Angry Man because I heard something that I didn't hear at the time during the live stream. And I shouted out, like, hey, bro, I'm sorry. I didn't understand that my mic was louder than all the rest of that shit. I wasn't meaning to talk off to you. My bad. What'd he say? No problem. No problem, man. No, don't worry about that shit. My mic was cutting out. You understand when something has gone afoul. I understood that sounded fucked up. And I have enough respect to admit when the fuck I'm wrong. I have enough humility to do that shit. Because it wasn't intentional. But that's just me talking to another brother. Now, this white motherfucker on the bus understood he did something wrong after he had to pay the price for that shit. You know what everybody else on the bus did? The brothers understood. You know what the women did? Y'all stop hitting that man. What? Shut the fuck up. Even a bus driver wasn't doing shit. Because he deserved it. Now you tell me that that's just a motherfucker yelling nigga on a bus full of black folks. Now these two motherfuckers in Atlanta and killed a black man. What are their consequences? Because they know they did something wrong. Or you're telling them that they did something right. These motherfuckers that went after CJ Mack were saying what he said. Did they do something right? Or did they do something wrong? And if they did something wrong, where are their consequences for going after him? I don't know how many more fucking lessons you need to see that the gynocracy is either down on her last leg or she's trying to choke one out before she go. But they have no problem in trying to skewer your ass when they think you did something wrong. Somebody got to pay the price. So Skittle Snitch, we'll see what happens. I'm on board with Grinch. We'll see what happens. Nothing happens. Y'all motherfuckers bogus. Y'all bogus like Mister. Why should anybody else respect you? Why should anybody else take you serious if you're not going to take yourself serious? Why should they worry about killing any of you if there ain't no repercussions for that shit? Why should they worry about you accomplishing something and understanding that you are a prize and get to degrade and downplay you, and there's no repercussions for that shit? When the fuck you gonna sack the fuck up and get the respect that you've earned? I don't know. I guess it remains to be fucking seen if it will ever happen. My hope for this world is in my two seeds. And not to be fucking the revolutionaries to change this shit. My hope for them is that they smart enough to manage you fucking lemmings. Because all sheep need a shepherd. I didn't raise sheep. So, I don't know. These three stories and more will be circling around. And I've heard them all week. And at the end of the day, I am very structured in my thinking. This is what happened. The fuck you gonna do about it? If you do nothing, shut the fuck up. If you're gonna do something, then what? Get it done. I don't want to hear about it. Why should I take you seriously? So, anyway, I think that's enough of me venting. It's not a rant. I ain't cussed that much. I'm trying. And I have not been drinking. That's coffee. But it's way too much dumb shit that goes on in this world. Way too much dumb shit. And for the most part, I would hope that people would reverse it, that they would actually fix themselves, get some help to fix themselves, and try to alleviate all these goddamn problems. But the cynic in me knows that shit ain't gonna happen. That I'll probably live my last day wishing that shit would happen. I'm fond of telling my kids I'm right about the wrong things. I ain't never been right about picking lottery numbers. That's what the fuck it is. But I have been right about telling some fucked up shit is gonna happen and who would do it. I have been very scarily accurate on that kind of shit. Because I study human nature and human behavior. And some of that shit do not change. The further back you look, the more you see it will be cyclical and it will follow the same fucking pattern. It's just what it is. I ain't God, so I can't change that shit. I can only change them myself. So that's it. So hit the like button, support the channel. Props to anybody who already has. I can't fucking see it at the moment. If I did, I would call you out. Maybe I should just do that shit anyway. Let me just check some shit real quick, just so I ain't shitting on anybody who was actually deserving. Okay, shout out to She, appreciate it. Oh shit, Ollie came through. What's up, Ollie? My boy Ollie. He finally showed up onto a stream. Props, Ollie. Props to Cats. I will hit y'all obviously after this stream. But props to you guys for supporting the channel. Thank you, Ollie. That's Ollie K in there. Okay, this is my boy Ollie. If y'all look in the chat, give a shout out to Ollie K. That's a good dude right there, and that's not even a fucking brother. I'm from California, and so I know a lot of people of different races, and I see that as a strong suit. I do, because there's more than just two groups of people in this goddamn world. And being the fact that I live in the Bay Area, I get to interact with a lot of them, and I look to learn. I look to learn from people who know shit. And that brother Ollie in there knows a lot. This motherfucker can speak Japanese. But he do know his hood shit. Which is funny. And I have good conversations. I haven't caught him on a shop talk. I haven't caught him on a shop talk yet. But me and Ollie have good conversations about shit. And he's younger than me, but he got knowledge. And I respect that about him. So, respect, Ollie. Thank you. Thank you for that donation, brother. I appreciate that. So, in other news, thank you, Aquateki, for putting that link in the chat. Geek shit. I kind of fell back a little bit on what I was going to say because, well, I didn't fall back. I took a step back in my head and thought about it before I was going to say it, because, mind you, I had this show planned out for a week of what I was going to do and what I was going to talk about. And no problem, Ali. What the fuck? There you go. Yeah, I gave you a wrench, so just in case. You tech savvy, Ali, so you know what to do with this shit. But I planned this show not thinking about the fact that it was Mother's Day. I was not thinking about that shit at all. Okay? Wasn't thinking about that shit at all. And it's not because I have some kind of fucking disdain for mothers or nothing like that. No, it's not on my mind like that. It's not. I'm a black man. I understand that Mother's Day is another day for motherfuckers to shit on black men for saying they ain't did a bunch of shit. That's just what the fuck it is. It's not that big of a fucking deal to me. I'm not really gotten to the point in life with age where a lot of these, I don't even want to say, no, it's not contrived. A lot of these contrived fucking holidays where you're supposed to show all this support for certain people just because they fucking existed and not take into account anything that they may have fucking actually done or not did is bullshit. I've also worked retail. There's a lot of things I don't do anymore. I don't celebrate commercial Christmas no more. I'm fucking sick of it. I don't. I'll celebrate Thanksgiving, but how I celebrate Thanksgiving. Not the way people telling me I need to be celebrating Thanksgiving. And same thing with Mother's Day. I do not celebrate Mother's Day that way. I will make 4 personal calls on Mother's Day. My mother, my grandmother, my son's mother, my daughter's mother. Those are the 4 calls I will make. My friends and stuff like that, shoot them a text. Personal. Not a chain text, personal text. That's it. I'm just not doing these holidays like that anymore. So a lot of the stuff that I was going to say today for this show could be considered bashing fucking women because these people were in the news a lot this week related to my geek properties that I watch. So in my head, I took a step back and said that may seem kind of fucked up to go in on these chicks on Mother's Day, but as every young black man must learn as he's growing up, or every man must learn growing up, when he starts dealing with women, this bitches ain't my mama. This ain't my mama. Fuck, I need to go easy on them for. How easy would they be going on me? No, they wouldn't. So, in keeping with that, in keeping with the idea of understanding that it is the fuck it is. You, as BGS would say, eat the meat, spit out the bones. Eat the meat and spit out the bones, motherfucker. If this shit don't apply to you, you don't think it applies to you, then don't worry about it. Because I am one for naming fucking names and making sure motherfuckers understand I'm talking about you if I'm talking about you. You can take the shit personal, you cannot. And the first thing I want to say as I get into the actual geek topic is fuck Leslie Headland. Fuck Leslie and fuck KK. These two chicks. This is the geek portion of the show. Straight up. If you don't know who Leslie Headland is, I think I mentioned her last week, but either way, Leslie Headland is a director. And just to not belabor a point, because there's not a lot of history to talk about with this motherfucker, Leslie Headland is the woman responsible for the next Star Wars movie or TV show you're going to get on Disney Plus. And this chick wants to do the all-female cast show. This is, in fact, the last show that KK has control over at Lucas in Star Wars. This is the last show. This is her only show. This is her money shot. Appreciate that, Ollie. This is her money shot. This is it. This is her swan song. This is her getting the hook and Sandman coming out and getting her off the stage. This is it. This is her last fucking hoorah. You know who she hired? Leslie Headland. You know what Leslie Headland is on? Some bullshit. I'm laughing about this shit because it's so fucking ridiculous. And it's kind of funny. Exactly, Aquatechy. Harvey Weinstein's former assistant. Now, I have something on that. And it will sound like a defense for her. It's not a defense for her. I just try to see the whole big picture because I know I'm a brother. I understand how we get smeared for a lot of things that ain't got shit to do with us just because we was there, right? We were in the vicinity. To the point of Leslie Headland being Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant or former assistant that she has said, and I looked up, she's only worked for him like a year and a half. Okay. What does that actually mean? Does it mean that she was procuring these women and being outside the door while he was doing whatever the fuck he was doing with these women? I don't fucking know. I don't think any of that was said. I don't think any of that was said. If it was, I'd love to see that shit. But regardless of that, I'm sure Harvey Weinstein had a bunch of former assistants. Chicks. You know what you can be damn certain of with this former assistant to Harvey Weinstein? She ain't got no sex scandal happening with her. You know why? Because this bitch is butt fucking ugly. She is ugly as shit. I've never seen a bigger candidate for being a lesbian. Never. And I've seen some ugly fucking women. Now that might sound superficial, but no, that's just an observation because I have fucking eyes. And I'm thinking even Stevie Wonder, if he was feeling on her face, would say, "This a ugly bitch." She butt ugly. She hurteth, hurteth of stick. Okay, Aquatech. She might have some dirt on some people. Aquatech, look, man. If you the PA, if you an assistant to some dude that's doing this kind of shit, you might have know who's going in his office and getting it and who wasn't it. You could have been one of the people cleaning up his office afterwards, arranging these meetings and shit. Now, I'm not saying, yeah, she blockheaded as fuck, Aquatech. Like, straight back to fucking Gumby and the blockheads. Straight back to Gumby and the blockheads. She blockheaded as fuck. She looked like a shrunken head. Now, for me, that's the only thing bothering her. I don't give a fuck if she was Harvey Weinstein's former assistant. I don't give a fuck. I'm sure he's had a bunch of them. I know he probably wasn't trying to fuck her. The only question from her being his former assistant, was she involved in him doing this shit to these other chicks? If she wasn't, it don't matter whose former assistant she was. It doesn't. The shit don't matter. Just like if it was a black dude and he was Harvey Weinstein's former assistant, unless you can tell me that he was getting these women for this motherfucker, it don't matter that he was his personal assistant. It only matters if you were doing that shit. If you was getting these women, if you was helping cover this shit up, you was getting them moist towelettes so they can wipe themselves off after he had his way with them, then it matters. Right now, it don't matter. Right now, my concern with this motherfucker is not what she used to be. Yeah, she looked like a Malika. She looked like a jawline dude. Now, if you really want to laugh, Malika, look up a picture of her wife, and you tell me what the situation is with that shit. You tell me what the situation is with that. Because I can best believe she ain't seen no dick. I know every dude got that ugly chick or that big chick in his closet when he was first starting out and trying to fuck or something. I can almost guarantee this bitch don't got that story. She ain't in nobody's closet. She had no other options. Dick was not on her menu. And the path of least resistance was between some chick's legs. Because somebody would let her eat her. But she ain't touching no dick. I don't even think you let a chick like that suck it. Even if you were blind. Yeah, Ali, you're right. That the assistant has to do some scheduling for some meetings and shit like that. So, like Malika said, she could have some dirt on some motherfuckers. She could. It's possible. But that's not what's being said. So all I can go on is what's being said. And that ain't it. So anyway, the part that concerns me about this chick is what she's doing now. I don't give a fuck where she's been at the moment. I give a fuck about where she's at right now. Look at the numbers drop. Y'all don't want to hear me bitching about this chick? Whatever the fuck. Y'all didn't show up for the geek stuff then. Anyway. Give her that Ray Charles test. No. No. Ray Charles ain't trying to hit that. Stevie Wonder got babies all over the place. I don't think he'd be trying to hit that shit. Not even from the back. Because you'd have to, get that hair grab and rolling over that face and be like, oh shit, what the fuck am I doing? So anyway, this chick she is directing this next Star Wars thing on Disney Plus. Now, The part that's most fucked up about this is that she's coming in and she wants to totally throw out George Lucas's stuff. And she wants to take things in her own fucking direction, story and agenda, using the Star Wars banner to tell her own identity politics story in the Star Wars universe. This is where my problem comes in with this shit. I don't give a fuck about your politics. I don't. And this is one of my biggest problems with these people coming into this space. And I say these people because these are not fucking geeks. Okay? These are not geeks. These are not fans of this material. These are people who are using this material as a vehicle to push their poison pill in it and shove it down your fucking throat. And claiming you are a misogynist and everything else if you say, I don't want to eat this shit. That's the problem. Now, you can tell your story. And it could be an awesome fucking story. All chicks don't matter to me. You got your identity politics story, does not fucking matter to me. If it's entertaining, I will watch it. But what you don't have to do is try to brand it Star Wars to try to sell it. That's where I have a problem with it. That is where I draw the line in having a problem with it. Because what it shows is a couple things. One of which is, you know, this shit does not fucking sell. You know it doesn't sell. The reason you know it doesn't sell is because these motherfuckers fight so hard to put these fucking stories under a banner that makes money. They fight tooth and nail to do that shit. They only go after brands that make money to push this bullshit under it. If the story you wanted to tell would make money on its own, you would make your own brand and tell those stories. You wouldn't need to have to wrap this shit in Star Wars to tell this identity politics story. You would just tell your identity politics story in a sci-fi universe and let it stand. You could put it on the O network. I'm sure Oprah would kick out some money for that shit. But that's not what you're doing. What you're doing is going to established money-making, masculine, dare I say, properties and stuffing this identity politics into it to try to fuck it up. The same way you see these same goofy ass thinking motherfuckers running on YouTube and jumping up on anybody's panel that'll be open to them to spout this same bullshit. Same bullshit. When you start taking somebody in this space serious just because they got a pair of tits, you already had a problem. And I say this space is being YouTube and geekdom. It's a problem. Now I can go back to fucking G4, right? Or what was it before then? I forgot what the name of the title was. Back like early 2000s. The G4 network, where it was all about gamer stuff, right? Adam Sessler and shit like that, right? I can remember seeing the switch in that show when, damn, numbers dropping again. Motherfuckers running. Fuck y'all. Fuck you for running. But I can remember how that fucking show went with just Adam Sessler. And I can remember the change in the direction of that show when they brought, damn, I'm forgetting the first chick's name. The gamer chick in there. Morgan Webb. Right? When they brought her in. Now, Morgan Webb, for a white chick, she's like basic white chick. But she had those boobs and she was into gaming. And you could look at her sunken eyes and tell she's a fucking gamer. Okay. Now that bumped their numbers a little bit. And they took notice of that shit. And when they changed it to fucking G4, then they brought in Psylocke herself. I'm not forgetting this chick's name. Fuck. Somebody put it in the chat. You know who this chick is. She was Psylocke. I'm drawing a blank right now. What the fuck? I can't believe I'm forgetting that shit. Because she's kind of cute. Anyway, she was an Iron Man. She was trying to be an actress and shit like that. She would dress up in the cosplay stuff, and she was hotter than Morgan Webb. That's when the whole shit changed. Now, thank you, Olivia Munn. God damn, how did I forget that shit? Like, Olivia is one of my favorite fucking female names. I don't know how I was forgetting that shit. Exactly, Munn. Olivia Munn. They took what they learned from Adam Sessler teaming up with Morgan Webb. Morgan Webb was actually a geek. She was a fucking geek. She played those games. She was a fucking geek. You can see it in her fucking eye. She was a geek. She was just a geek with a nice rack. That was it. Wasn't that much to fucking look at. Right? She was basic as fuck. You get to the new company taking over that show, and now it's G4, and they trying to do Attack of the Show and all this other shit, and they get Olivia Munn on there. Oh shit, Olivia Munn doing all kind of freaky stuff. Olivia Munn wasn't a fucking geek. She was a model. She was a cute chick trying to be a fucking actress. And they had her on there doing that sex appeal shit. That's when that shit just kind of blew the fuck off. Because then after that, they start having more chicks on there. Talking gaming, talking comics, talking stuff. Did these chicks know they shit? Some of them did, but I'm a geek. I can tell female geeks from a fucking face. Okay? I can tell a female geek who's into just dressing up like the character she like, and some female chick that's saying, I'm a cosplayer and I'm trying to be known for doing this shit, and all they can do is make a costume with their titties and their ass out. That's an exhibitionist looking for an audience. That's all this shit is. Because that is not standard of geek chicks. Geek chicks are usually average as fuck. Usually average as fuck. Ain't a lot of hot chicks. They sprinkled in there, but there ain't a lot of hot ones. When you put that into the geek world and then start using that vehicle to push bullshit through, you start getting this stuff. All the stuff we've been seeing over the last 2 years or so with these movies and getting more fucking outrageous with how much in the face identity politics they keep trying to push into this shit, the more they keep losing money. But they will not admit that shit. Problem is, what they'll do is they'll blame it on the very people that they say they're trying to pitch this shit to, which is the fans. And now they want to alienate all those fans by telling them how fucking misogynist they are. This chick headline coming into the Star Wars stuff is doing the same trick. You don't like what I'm doing? You're just man boys. Then why the fuck are you over here? Why the fuck did you bother coming to the man boy club, who just like masculine stuff and lightsabers and gunfights and shit? You coming over here and bitching that we don't want to hear about your little soft vagina stuff. Why are you upset? You knew what the banner on the door was, didn't you? You came into this place willingly. And you have so little respect that, one, you want to attack the fans. Two, the creator of this universe, you want to shit on him too? Look, man, there's only so many insults you can take. As a man, there's only so many insults you can take. Every man has that word that's going to make him go to fuck off. Okay? Every man. You cannot come into a man's house, disrespect his guest, his children, he's basically raised on this shit, and him. I'm gonna just do what the fuck I want in here. I'm gonna take this shit down, and I'm gonna put up these pink drapes, and we just gonna have a whole fucking party like this in here. No, the fuck you ain't. That's fucking asinine. That is fucking asinine. And this chick, that's what she's doing. Now, I said this last week. I looked this chick up. I cannot see any credits to her fucking name. Or why she would get a role like this. Why she would get put in a position to do this shit. Unless you marry it with the fact of who brought her in. KK, the bitch on her way out, who is in trouble and on her way out for doing this same dumb shit that's already been proven to lose money. Already. Here it is. Disney and paid out all this money for the Star Wars franchise. This bitch had it for 3 fucking movies and damn near killed it. By herself. And her coup de grace, her piece de resistance, is to bring in this chick to do the last show she get to do. Here's the worst part. If that wasn't enough, there's 2 other things in this shit to show you how much of a fucking train wreck these motherfuckers is trying to have. And how much you understand that this is their money shot. They Hail Mary, whatever the fuck you want to call it. This chick, this writer, screenwriter, Hedlund, she wants to bring Rian Johnson in to direct. Are you fucking kidding me? Rian Johnson's name attached to Star Wars is an immediate non-start. What's worse is his bitch ass got the nerve to be mad at the fans. You tripping? This motherfucker is tripping. Both of these motherfuckers is on some serious uncooked dope. Serious. Not only does she want him to direct this show, this motherfucker is pissy in his fucking fifis because the new CEO of Disney, Chapek, I think I'm saying his name correctly, threw out his trilogies. Threw out his fucking trilogies. Like, no, we're not doing that shit. So because he in his fifis, he find some solace, a good comfort, and a pair of flat chests to cry on with Hedlund and KK. Like, it's okay, Ryan. We'll bring you over here. You can direct our movie. Is that the dream team for a train wreck? Full vagina vision? And because of that, he has the nerve to snap off on the fans. They don't know what they're talking about. Now, that's not the end of it, because KK has snapped off on the fans before, too. She don't understand the fans either. Which is obvious, because we saw the 3 movies that she's behind. You don't understand these fans. And honestly, you don't give a fuck about the fans. You don't. Chapek. Thank you. Thank you, Ollie. Yeah, she don't give a fuck about the fans. Neither does Hedlund. Neither does Rian Johnson. Now, Rian Johnson also got pissy because Sam Witwer, the Dark Apprentice, Force Unleashed guy, Star Killer, in the voice of Darth Maul in Clone Wars, he came out on a tweet and told the motherfucker that he didn't do his research. He didn't really care for the movie. It wasn't his cup of tea, but you didn't really do your research. He got pissed because he said that. Fuck you! You didn't! Anybody at least watching the original trilogy would have known that what you were showing in your movie of Luke Skywalker was not his character. It was not his fucking character. It was some interesting shit thrown in there, but that wasn't his character. You can't kill off Luke Skywalker. No. The movie that he was behind is the biggest fucking lump of shit in the Star Wars universe. That's a fucking feat. Yeah, he's only stating facts, Aquateki. He's stating facts. He watched it. He's an actor. He's involved in the universe. He watched it like, not my shit, but you should have did more research. How can you be mad at that shit? You only mad if you a bitch. And you just think anything you kick out is supposed to be accepted and loved. Just because you shit it out. Mama special little angel. Everything I do is magical. No. Most of the things you do is going to be shit. And this was one of them. Now, I give Rian Johnson props for Knives Out. I like Knives Out. It was a good movie. But you know what it wasn't? A fucking Star Wars movie. And you know what the Last Jedi wasn't? A good Star Wars movie. Wasn't Knives Out either. You fucked up, dude. Just take it on the chin. Joel Schumacher made shitty movies too. Fucking bat nipples himself. He ain't bitching. He still collected his money and went on about his life. Fucking hell. Like, I'm getting to that part. I just want to finish on these two fucking three mutton heads. No, excuse me, 4 mutton heads. Because the coup de grace to this whole situation with this last Star Wars series under KK's control comes in the person that she's talking to for a major role in this whole shit. There's one actor that KK wants to be in charge of this shit. So you got Hedlund writing, screenwriting or whatever. You got Rian Johnson directing. You got KK producing. And KK decides she wants the actor to fill this role. And the actor she wants is fucking Brie Larson. Are you fucking... Is that not the perfect storm of bullshit? You tell me. Like, damn. These motherfuckers... If there is a crew in geekdom, I'll just say cinematically, if there's a crew in geekdom who don't give a fuck about this brand, who don't give a fuck about the fans, and care about what they want to see or any love for this universe at all, it is the 4 of them motherfuckers right now. Lisa Hedlund, Rian Johnson, Kathleen Kennedy, and motherfucking Brie Larson. That's like the perfect fucking storm. Is this not the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse? Please help me. This is the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. This gotta be. Gotta be. I guess KK would be Wrath. That must be who she be. Hedlund must be War. fucking Rian Johnson is famine. Because he fucked up their money. And who is Brie Larson? Pestilence? Death? Fucking hell, dude. This is horrendous, dude. This is fucking horrendous. And it's only funny to me because it's so goddamn ridiculous. These people have their heads so far stuck up this identity politics ass, they can't even identify that it's an ass they got their head stuck up. Because it might not even be a ass. Maybe it's just a vagina. Maybe that's it. They need to pull the pink curtains back and take a look around and see where the fuck they at. For me. Just, I don't know, just for the fuck of it. Check out the scenery. See what else is out there. That's the Mount Rushmore sci-fi fuckery. Malika, you a motherfucking fool, dude. That is fucking classic. Somebody need to repost that. That need to be a hashtag. They are the 4 horsemen of the geek apocalypse, dude. I swear to God. At least in the Star Wars universe. That shit is horrendous. Horrendous. But that's it. That's what they want to do for their final outing in the Star Wars universe. All female cast, identity politics, Hedlund, Johnson, Kennedy, and Larson. That's what they want. That's their idea of a winning fucking team, winning strategy. Okay, you can have all 4 of those people working on one project. Don't gotta be a Star Wars one though. And if you thought it would make some money, you would take it and not make it a Star Wars one. That's the whole point. They know it's a loser. They know it's a fucking loser. But if they put it out on their own with some other characters in a whole nother fucking universe that they made up, it would suck balls and be a loser. And they would have nothing to fall back on to blame and point the finger at. It failed because you guys are misogynist haters. No, it failed because it's dog shit. No matter what you think, people don't like that shit. Don't. So that's my piece on that. I'll leave you with that. The Four Horsemen. The Four Horsemen of the Geek Apocalypse. And not the cool horsemen like in WCW with Ric Flair and Arn Anderson and them. No, not them cool horsemen. And no, not the ones from Apocalypse either. No, these are the Four Horsemen of fucking up geekdom. No. This fucking Brie Larson shit, they wanted that bitch to be fucking Ahsoka Tano. Hell no. KK wanted her over Rosario Dawson. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. No. 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 In other news on that Star Wars front, and I told Dr. T.S. Johnson I would mention this today because I didn't want to tell him about it yesterday, but Malika said it in the chat earlier. Taika Waititi's on to direct a Star Wars movie. One of these 3 new expanded universe movies that fucking Ryan Johnson wanted to do. No. Taika Waititi's coming on. Now here's my thing. Here's my thing with Taika Waititi. He's entertaining as a person. He's kind of a weird dude, but kind of entertaining. Right? Did I like his role as the IG unit? I forget the number decks. IG-80? No, it wasn't IG-88. Anyway, as the IG in The Mandalorian Season 1. Did I like that? Yeah, IG was funny. Did I like that last episode that he directed? Yes, I did like that last episode that he directed. Eventually, when it don't matter, the 2 haters that worry about when my videos come out can be happy. Eventually, it'll come out and it'll be late as fuck. But hopefully, before 2nd season. But did I like that episode? Yes, that episode was good. It had a lot of funny elements in it, and it had an emotional core that I liked. If that's his directing, fine. I did not like Ragnarok. I like the special effects in Ragnarok. I like seeing Hela represented in Ragnarok. I did not like Ragnarok as a movie. That is not something you lead off the resume with. Now, Jojo Rabbit, didn't see, but some of the stuff I saw from the trailers, it looks kind of funny, but it was one of those things that couldn't bring me to go see that shit and pay for it in the theaters. It wasn't that damn interesting. It's 2020. We got other things going on besides running all the way back to Nazi Germany again to deal with a delusional kid. It was some awkwardly funny stuff, but I'm looking at it like it was a Wes Anderson movie or some shit. Just live action. Fuck it. I can see it, I cannot see it. It's not making or breaking me. So, do I hate Taika Waititi? I'm just so. It's not, don't really have a whole big fucking opinion on him outside of the fact that I really didn't like Ragnarok. I really didn't. It was too fucking silly. Now, I blame that on the success of Guardians of the Galaxy. Because Guardians of the Galaxy made every Marvel movie after that too fucking funny. And for a movie about the death of gods, the almost extinction of a whole race of people, the one thing that shit should not be played as is a motherfucking joke. I haven't seen that many people killed by one person since John Wick. And it was played as a fucking joke. all the way up into the point that Thor got on the ship with the Guardians in Infinity War and sat down a rocket and then started explaining the weight of what the fuck happened. His father, his mother, damn near his whole civilization, his sister. Then it had weight. Ragnarok is a fucking joke. It's like, yeah, they killed all these Asgardians. Those are regular fucking people. Those are regular Asgardians with families and shit. And this bitch showed up just throwing blades into everybody, killing all of them. Like it didn't make a thing, and the whole shit was played off like it was just a fucking joke. Not a big deal. There was more sensitivity paid to the fucking IG unit dying than all these Asgardians. So on him. So the fuck so on him. But somebody like him. Now, other thing that's going on with all this Star Wars shit is that the rumors I'm hearing is that they want to have Jon Favreau be the new head of Lucasfilm. And that's something else I'm kind of so on. And not because I don't like Jon Favreau. I've reviewed his movies. I've talked about The Mandalorian. I've talked about other stuff that he's done. I like Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau is a fucking geek. And he loves Star Wars. That is not without a doubt. Without a doubt. And he made the best fucking... He made the fucking savior of the Star Wars universe in The Mandalorian. Without a bunch of prying eyes and fucking scrutiny. Excuse me, this fucking chair is not comfortable, and I cannot sit on something that got my fucking ass hurting. So, for what he did with The Mandalorian and the Star Wars universe, he saved that shit. He fucking gave it the paddle. Because that shit was dead. If you take The Mandalorian out and just have that Rise of Skywalker show up, that franchise is dead. From that movie on, you couldn't sell a fucking Dixie cup with Star Wars on it and have anybody buy that shit. It was over. It was over. He gave that whole franchise the fucking paddles. And it's because, excuse me, he and Filoni love that universe. They love those characters and love that universe, which is what's missing from the Four Horsemen of the Star Wars apocalypse. They don't love that material. They don't love those fucking characters. They give no fucks about none of it. And that's all well and good. You can give not a fuck about it. Just don't do shit in the house to fuck it up. Move out. Go your own way. Now, Jon Favreau being in charge of Lucasfilms, yeah, it makes sense. You want somebody who loves these characters as much as George Lucas loves them to take care of it and safeguard it and all that shit. But Hollywood has a problem with spreading people around too much, and I don't want that for Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau works as he does as a director and doing all that shit and having creative ideas. I think this will fuck him up. Putting him in charge of all of that shit like that, just focusing on Star Wars stuff, will fuck him up. First thing I thought about when I heard this was that I won't get another season of The Chef Show. And I love The Chef Show. The Chef Show on Netflix. Jon Favreau cooking with Roy Choi and friends. People from Marvel. People at Lucas Skywalker Ranch. Dave Filoni shows up. All up in the Bay Area, in LA, all over the place, just cooking food. I love that show. You know what that means if he takes over Lucasfilms? I'm not getting another one of those shows. He's gonna be too fucking busy. He's gonna be too fucking busy trying to help them fucking save this whole fucking universe. At that point, he might as well be fucking Luke Skywalker or the chosen one, because they now choosing him to do it all. He can't do it all. I don't think he can do it all. And I wouldn't want him to do it all. It's going to fuck him up. And I don't want him fucked up. I like him for how he does. Let him direct his movies. Let him make other movies that he wants to make outside of solely focusing on this Star Wars shit. For me, if you want to put somebody in charge of Lucasfilms that loves this shit, like George Lucas's loves it, let Dave Filoni do it. For everybody in the chat who's seen the last season of the Clone Wars, you tell me how good it was. Because I haven't seen it. I am not a animated Clone Wars devotee like that. I don't. I've seen episodes here and there, and the episodes I've seen here and there have been good. Well, I also know that Dave Filoni is behind a lot of that shit. Being in the lore, making up new parts of the lore, creating new characters, integrating those new characters. That is his fucking strength. That is the Filoni part of the Favreau and Filoni connection in The Mandalorian. It's Dave Filoni. That Darksaber and shit, that ain't come from Jon Favreau. That came from Dave Filoni. That's his shit. Those are his ideas. Do I have a problem with him doing that shit live action? He ain't a director. But no. Give it to him. He'll do it. Fuck. It's LucasArts at Skywalker Ranch. The motherfucker wear a cowboy hat all the time. Who else to be in charge of the ranch but a dude who at least wears a cowboy hat? The last cup of Jack. Shut up, Artie Idmore. You still drinking that shit? Cheap motherfucker. Why'd you slow down now? For me, I don't want Jon Favreau to fill that role. I want Dave Filoni to fill that role. And not because I know everything that Dave Filoni has done, just because that makes the most sense to me. And it frees Jon Favreau up to do his Marvel stuff and do the Mandalorian stuff and make them the best as possible without being time constraints and shit like that that will have him turning out a shitty product on either one of those. Because mind you, he's an actor and a director. And apparently he writes. I don't want him bogged down with having to be the head of some shit and fucking up his creative process like that. Give that shit to Dave Filoni. He is invested in the Star Wars universe. He will put that shit in good hands. From what I understand, that's like George Lucas's adopted son anyway. So let George and his adopted son work that shit out. Let John keep moving around, directing and doing what he do. The best. Because I don't think being the head of some shit like that is what he's going to do best. I don't. If it was, he would have did it already. I know Disney is really appreciative, or Chapek is really appreciative of what he did with The Mandalorian, but you don't need to heap all of that shit on this just one man. You will fucking crumble. That's the problem with heaping all that shit on KK. You heaped all that responsibility on one person and didn't even vet if they gave a fuck about them characters or not. And what did you get? No. You need some safeguards, some blocks to cover that shit. So, don't want Jon Favreau to be in charge of Lucasfilms. Not because I don't like Jon Favreau. Love Jon Favreau's work. I just don't want him burdened with that shit. But I will support Dave Filoni doing it, because it'll be in just as good of hands. And he can sit there and manage multiple Star Wars projects and not be overburdened with the fact that he's just managing multiple Star Wars projects and nothing else. Jon Favreau still needs to move between the Star Wars and the Marvel world and his own personal shit. Let him do that. Don't bog him down with that. I got my neon New Amsterdam sign with a sip of ice on. What the fuck is that about, LaShawn? Neither have I, but I trust, Aquatechie. I trust Filoni to carry the torch. He's been carrying it. He was, if to put it simply, Aquateki, to speak to your point, Dave Filoni was carrying the torch before Jon Favreau ever fucking showed up to the party. As far as I know. Because that Clone Wars animated shit been going on for a while. And it was already getting rave reviews. Before The Mandalorian ever even, I guess, saw a page. That's why when they did The Mandalorian, they went and grabbed Dave Filoni. So, let him keep doing his fucking deal. Let him keep doing his dealie. Obviously, he understands putting some shit together. If you've seen that shit on, if you've seen the clip on YouTube of them doing the motion capture for Darth Maul with Ray Park and doing the Darth Maul and Ahsoka Tano fight with Ray Park and whatnot. I don't know if they were at Skywalker, but they were doing the motion capture and stuff. Dave Filoni is there. That was him, thinking up that shit and trying to get it done right. Let him keep doing that shit. The motherfucker got love. Let him express that love into this material. That free up Favreau. So, other shit, other geek news. I gotta touch on this Keanu Reeves shit again. I gotta touch on this Keanu Reeves, Star Wars, Marvel shit again. And this goes into my point I was just saying about how Hollywood likes to push people in too many damn directions and oversaturate shit with one person. And I'll say this, I'm a fan of Keanu Reeves. Have been for a while. I even watched Bill and Ted and will still laugh at some of that shit. Stupid fun, but it's stupid fun. That's what it's supposed to fucking be. Just because he did John Wick, I don't want to see Keanu Reeves in every fucking thing. I don't. What Hollywood has a problem with doing is they latch on to certain things. And they're like opportunists. They don't give a fuck about the things that you're doing when they decided you've been written off. When they don't think you're profitable or anything like that anymore. They've written you off. They don't give a shit what you're doing. Which is what John Wick was for Keanu Reeves. They didn't give a fuck about that shit. But as soon as you make a shitload of money on something that resonates with the fans, and the fans come out for you, now Hollywood pays attention and wants to put you in everything. They want to come to the party. They want to slap you on the back. They want to offer you everything in the world. They're fucking opportunists and fucking leeches. That's the fuck that shit is. John Wick succeeded because it spoke to an audience that Hollywood was not speaking to at all. You name me one other pretty much masculine character that was just going out there and just ripping through motherfuckers like that. Name it. I'll wait. Wasn't seeing it. Movies have been going the way of the vagina. But the most popular shit that you've got in the last 5 years of somebody acting what would be traditionally fucking masculine, that is violent as fuck. Daredevil, Punisher, John Wick, 300 maybe. What else is Hollywood putting out? What do all these things have in common? Wasn't a lot of money for them up front. Wasn't a lot of Hollywood interest up front. They didn't give a fuck. Until it made some goddamn money. Then they gave all of a fuck. This mass push now, because of the success of the John Wick movies, to push Keanu Reeves into every fucking thing, every fucking franchise, is a fucking waste. No, I don't want to see him everywhere. I don't. I can watch him doing John Wick. I can watch him doing something else that he's interested in doing. But I don't need to have him force fucked into Marvel anywhere they can find a spot for him. And I don't need him force fucked into Star Wars. No. If he comes to you and wants to do something for Star Wars, then think of a role for him. But in the meantime, thank you, and The Matrix. In the meantime, since there's a shitload of fucking actors out there, a lot of which most people don't know and waiting for their big shot to blow up, why don't you develop some new talent and give somebody else a shot? Keanu Reeves is a pretty humble dude. I'm sure if you asked him, he'd tell you he don't need the fucking money. I don't even think he got any kids. He's a nice fucking dude. I'm sure he don't have no problem with passing on some shit. Now, I'm forgetting his name now. The Marvel Studio CEO, Feige. Now I know Feige wants something for Keanu Reeves. Look, I'm gonna explain this to Feige before he goes completely off the fucking rails. The success of your Marvel movies was not based on you grabbing the biggest name fucking talent to be in the fucking movie. The draw was the character, not the fucking actor. It wasn't. You lucked up with Robert Downey Jr. with Iron Man. And the only reason you got him was because his career was in the toilet and needed to be resuscitated. Now, you can thank Favreau for that, for fighting for Robert Downey Jr. You can also thank Robert Downey Jr. for delivering a fucking role. Yeah, he blew up because of it, because he invested himself into it. But it wasn't because he was a big name goddamn star. It was because nobody wanted to gamble on his ass because he had already had all his fucking problems. He was a risk. Y'all rolled them dice and won. Bravo. Everybody else that came on for those movies, they weren't the biggest draw. They were not the draw. The characters were the draw, not the actors. And if you try to pivot this Marvel shit into being about the stars that sign on to the role, look at the success of Captain Marvel and Brie fucking Larson. Look at that. Look at that and use that as an example of what not to fucking do. Fuck the star, concentrate on the story. Because best believe I will tell your ass now, Feige, I don't give a fuck. Not one F-U-C-K about Angelina Jolie being in Eternals. I don't give a fuck about her being in the Eternals. I would wish she wasn't in that shit. You know why? If she wasn't in that shit, you'd probably have more money to develop in a better goddamn story than trying to play this identity politics shit in this fucking movie. That is important for you. It's important because you need that shit to actually give us a viable reason why mutants would be in this MCU. That's all it's supposed to do. Fuck who's starring in it. Who are these characters? Why do they even fucking matter? And what does it mean to this universe? That's it. That's all that movie is supposed to fucking do. But if you're going to start investing in, ooh, it's the name, it's this and that, remember Captain Marvel. Brie Larson did not help you with that movie. She fucking killed that movie for you. And that's spoken for somebody who wanted to see the movie and was giving Brie Larson a chance. I had to eat it on that shit. You know why? Because you fucked me on that situation. You put this goofy ass broad in there and delivered a subpar fucking movie trying to half-ass play identity politics in that. Total departure from what the character of Captain Marvel was. Fucked it all up. Gave me a movie that wasn't even worth seeing except for the special fucking effects. And any fan, like I will quote the Crimson Cure on this shit, salute to Kendra on this, I'm just waiting for fucking Rogue to show up now to put this bitch in a coma. So we can get her the fuck out of here. And do not think, I don't know what the fuck y'all are doing now trying to pull the same fucking stunt again, which is sandwiching Captain Marvel 2 between two other movies you want to fucking see to make sure somebody watches that goddamn movie. Because you know nobody's coming out for her ass and ain't nobody coming out for that fucking character. Nobody. You fucked it. It's done. Don't do this shit again. Get your shit straight, dude. Get it straight. Keanu Reeves don't need to be in the Marvel Universe. If he decided to do something in the Marvel Universe, fine. Fine. I would buy him as one of two characters, and two characters only that I'm thinking of. Exactly, Aquateki. Rogue can't come soon enough. Rogue can't come soon enough. If they did Captain Marvel 2 and had Rogue, some chick, Marie show up and steal this bitch's powers, that'd be the way to see that movie. That'd be the only reason to see that movie. To see her at the end of the movie get touched by some little chick and to steal all her fucking powers and her for to be in a coma afterwards. Good. Nobody would give a shit because of the bullshit you already gave us. And Ali, Rogue's casting ain't critical to shit. It's not critical to shit. I would buy just a hand showing up and grabbing her and sucking Captain Marvel's powers away. I'd buy that. I don't even have to see the chick. I can just see a hand. Just a hand come up and do this, and Brie Larson fall the fuck out and is comatose, crane shot up into the movie. I don't even got to see it's Rogue. I know who the fuck is gonna be. It's not critical at all. The critical part is Brie Larson's character is the fuck out of there. That she's out. That's what's critical. It ain't critical who do it. We already know where it happens. It's critical that her ass moves the fuck on. Shuffles off and get out of my goddamn universe. Because you are stinking up the place. So to my point, two characters that Keanu Reeves would play that I would buy. Moon Knight. Do I think Moon Knight would work as a movie? Yes. But I don't see Keanu Reeves coming back for 3 of them. And I would say Keanu Reeves just for the fact that Moon Knight makes the most sense because Moon Knight, is a physical character. For what Keanu Reeves knows personally already, which is gun handling, martial arts, acting, I guess sword fighting, whatever the fuck, he could pull off playing Moon Knight, Mark Spector, the mercenary soldier, gets imbued with powers by the god Khonshu, and becomes his avatar on Earth. The reason I think Keanu Reeves would enjoy it would be because he could play a character with multiple personality disorder, who has a personality disorder, whose view on the world is shifting all the time. So if you want a good example, read the Jeff Lemire run of Moon Knight. That shit was awesome. It captured that disorientation perfectly for me. So I could see Keanu Reeves doing that. I could see Keanu Reeves dressed up in the all-white suit and being Mr. Knight. I could see that shit. He would probably get into it because he's that kind of dude. He likes them quirky roles like that. Could I see him doing that for 3 movies? No, it wouldn't work. Could I see him doing it in a series? He don't do series on TV like that. No. But that would be a role I could see him in. The other role I could see him in playing is a Ghost Rider. I could see him playing a Ghost Rider for a one-shot. For a one-shot. And not Robbie Ray as Ghost Rider, because I like that actor, what's his name? Gabriel Luna, I think it is. I like him. I like him playing Robbie Reyes on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm totally fine with that shit. I don't mind Nicolas Cage being Johnny Cage. Johnny Storm. God damn, they got too many Johnnies in Marvel. Johnny Blaze. I don't mind Nicolas Cage being Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider. I don't. But if you want Keanu Reeves in the universe to play Moon Knight, he could play Ghost Rider, but give him Dan Ketch Ghost Rider. Because Keanu Reeves doesn't know how to ride a motorcycle. Let him do that. You can have Dan Ketch show up for one movie and bounce the fuck out. You don't have to show up again. And then you can just use Gabriel Luna's Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. And have one movie with 3 Ghost Riders in it. And then Robbie Reyes goes on from there. I don't need a new Johnny Blaze. I don't need to wipe away those other 2 characters. Even though the Ghost Rider second movie was shit. I saw it. It was shit. I'm a Ghost Rider fan and that was shit. Whatever the fuck. It happens. But I want to... If you're going to show me another Ghost Rider, give me one I haven't seen. Give me Dan Ketch. That's 90s Ghost Rider. You can have him riding Japanese motorcycles and all kind of shit. And people will still buy it because if you read the comics, you know Dan Ketch and Johnny Blaze is half brothers. You don't have to replace what Nicolas Cage did. And you don't have to shit on what Luna did. It's all there. Give me a Dan Ketch and be good. Art of Ed Moore, I give the first movies a pass. I always give the first movie a pass because it's them trying to get that shit right. Except for Captain Marvel. They fucked that hard. They fucked that hard. Purposely. Thank you, Ali, for that link. So, first movie for Ghost Rider, I bought into it. I was stoked that it looked good and it had Old West Ghost Rider in that shit. That was awesome. Flaming Horse. Oh, hell yeah. Sam Elliott? Ava Mendes? Come on, man. That shit was awesome. It wasn't the best movie. The guy who directed that is the one who directed the Daredevil movie. So they were about the same. But actually seeing it on the screen, brought to life in a real way, and he wasn't all CG. Come on, man. Stop being so hard on shit. I liked it. You ain't got to. The story was shit, Art of Ed Moore. You're right. My boy Zach from the shop, he had the best fucking line for that first Ghost Rider movie. And he said they basically formed Captain Planet. He fought elementals and they formed Captain Planet. Earth, fire, water. He fought Captain Planet. So yeah, the story was kind of shit, but they're trying to get the movie out there. Okay. First Spider-Man movie was kind of shit. But you got the first Spider-Man movie. It is what it is. Yeah, I like Nick Cage as Johnny Blaze. Because Nick Cage is a geek. He's been trying to get into geek movies for fucking ever. So much so that he wanted to play Superman. And if you know anything about him, his last name, Cage, is pulled from the comic book character, Luke Cage. He's that much of a fucking geek. His last name is like Coppola or some shit like that. He picked that name because he's a fucking geek. He wanted that name. So I don't have a problem with him playing Johnny Blaze. You get what you get with Nick Cage. He'll do some off-the-wall shit. Just like when you pick Ben Affleck, he will do some ad-libbing shit. I don't have a problem with actors having their own fucking style. I don't. You should have your own fucking style as an actor. I don't expect Robert De Niro to do comedies, but he do that shit too. And he does his other shit real good too. Whatever the fuck, that's just what he do. If he starts singing and dancing, and I'm gonna be like, wait a minute. You're doing too much. You know? But Nick Cage likes this shit. He wants to be in comic book movies. Give him Johnny Blaze. I don't give a fuck. Johnny Blaze was not the guy I was most attached to anyway. Dan Ketch was, though. So, If you want Keanu Reeves in the universe, give him Dan Ketch. Ghost Rider one-off. And have 3 Ghost Riders show up in one movie and piece the fuck out. Then he done. But you're not getting them for multiple movies. You're not. You're not. Just like I don't want Jon Favreau pinned down to just working on Star Wars shit, I don't want Keanu Reeves pinned down to just doing Marvel shit for a long time. Feige, you guys will function better if you just get another unknown actor and do a character that people want to see. Like the Shang-Chi movie, I don't know who the fuck this dude is. This movie getting about as much press as the last Charlie's Angels movie. I don't know who this actor is. I don't know if he even doing his fight training. But I know goddamn too much about Brie Larson. And I'm hearing too much about you speculating and trying to force Keanu Reeves into some role. Keanu Reeves don't need to fuck with you. He don't. You need Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios. Y'all need to find another actor and focus on your characters. Because at Marvel, that's what you got. Characters. When you're turning these characters into movies, the character is what's going to sell the story. If you're trying to sell the story using that same Hollywood fuck up, which is throwing a named actor to just do some shit, you are going to be fucking up. And all the credibility you earned over the last 10 years is going to be down the toilet. And your asses might as well hire Kathleen Kennedy to start producing some of these movies too. Because you're going to take your shit the same way. Get that shit up before it bites you in the ass. So, other than that, that's about it. We about at 3 hours. I talked too long on the other shit, but I had to get it out. So, this Black Widow shit in November, that shit can wait. My only thing to say about that is my speculation is that, and I based this on playing my Future Fight game. If you ever on Marvel Future Fight, fuck with me, Scorpius Rex, Midnight Suns. But thanks to that game, it looks like that my prediction for the Black Widow movie is that Yelena Belova takes Scarlett Johansson's place as Black Widow on the Avengers. That's what it looks like. Unfortunately, with this game, they're bad for doing spoilers because they will release new content on the game, and the new content of the game will be directly related to the movie. And Art of More, it's a mobile game. It's on your mobile phone. Marvel Future Fight on mobile. But they put content out related to the movies, and they had to put this content out related to the movie, even if it didn't come out for COVID. And that character is on the game, and that character has a skin for dressed up like the Black Widow. So, if that's not a spoiler for the fucking movie, then I think that's what's going to happen, is that she becomes the Black Widow on the Avengers in the MCU after Scarlett Johansson takes her fucking leap. Not a terrible thing. I don't know much about this actress and this character, but if you're introducing the idea of multiple Black Widows and they all run by the name of a Black Widow, then technically you have made a mantle, which is the mantle of the Black Widow, and anybody can be in that position who's gone through that program. If you're a woman, you've gone through the Red Room training, you are a Black Widow if you graduated, which means anybody can play that role. Be it Natasha Romanoff, be it Yelena, whatever her name is, Yelena Belova, or whatever the fuck her name is. You are a Black Widow as well. So a Black Widow being on the Avengers is a true statement. There will still be a Black Widow on the Avengers. It just won't be Natasha Romanoff. And going in for phase feminism and phase 5, that's going to be all this Young Avengers and all the rest of this good shit. That's what you're going to get. So that's just my prediction, just from what I've seen. Now, it could not be a prediction because I'm just basing it on the game, but this stuff that's already out there. Stuff that's already out there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm gonna pass on the life stuff. It's Mother's Day. I've done enough, of my typical bitching about women shit. I will say, if you haven't caught BGS, Angry Man, The Grinch God, and The Crimson Cures, and Bishop Red Pill's fucking streams for this week. Oh, and Dr. Tiasan Johnson's streams for this week. Go back and listen to that shit because it has been fire every day this week from these content creators on what's going on in this world. They have been spitting fire. I don't know what the fuck it was because Monday, Tuesday came around, everybody was breathing flame. I don't know what the fuck was in the air, but everybody was breathing flame at the same time. And thank you for spacing that shit out. Thank you guys for spacing that shit out so I can listen to one of you, process, and then the next one went live, so then I could just follow over and listen to YouTube. I don't mind swimming in the stream. As long as I don't have to pick which one it is at the moment. I want to support everybody. So I like to watch them in tandem. So thank you from me. It's 3 hours. That's been the show for now. If you guys got some questions, I'll do probably 20 or so minutes on questions. But after that, I got to get my ass off of this stool. It's just fucking killing me. Get something to eat. But hit the like button. I know a lot of people left when I stopped talking about concurrent issues, but that's okay. I like a geek audience. I will say, if you didn't see the stream yesterday, go back and watch Dr. Tiasan Johnson's stream with Angry Man, BGS, and Dr. Tiasan Johnson talking about Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. That shit was good. It has some feminism shit in there, but what don't nowadays? It's like, come on, man. Come on, man. Thanks, Aquateki. Go back and watch that. That was actually a fun show. And if you look at that show, I'll tell you, once my laptop is fixed and stuff like that, that is how I want to run Shop Talk Live. That is how that stream, I envision that stream of working, which is actually being there, being able to give my commentary on what's going on in geekdom and whatnot, and then opening up to have StreamYards live chat with all of us getting on and having something to say about this. Because it's one thing to listen to me talking about this shit. It's a whole nother thing to hear other geeks going in on what they do, what they like and don't like about certain things. Because I will tell you, my trigger words right now: Cyclops and Wolverine in a polyamorous relationship. That is a fucking trigger for me. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't even want to talk about it. I really don't. I want it to die in obscurity. Safe Space and Snowflake. Those are fucking trigger words for me. And I say this closing my eyes because I'm forcing myself to actually say these two words. Notice I'm not saying what fucking team they on because that's a fucking insult. Those are fucking trigger words. Okay? Blade 3. We don't talk about that shit. Okay? We don't talk about that shit at all. We don't talk about Blade 3. Because if I start going on a tear about David S. Goyer, I have to shut the stream down to stop because I'll keep going. Those are trigger words for me. Okay, and fucking Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, not Captain Marvel the character in Marvel Comics. Captain Marvel, Brie Larson. Trigger words. That ain't gonna work. But I will tell you, a live stream panel talking geek shit is fun. That is the goal. That's what all of this is leading to. Once we get the good compliment of legit geeks, I already got I already have the Discord set up for it. You can do multiple chats and talk about that stuff. I just don't have a lot of people in the Discord because right now I'm terrible about accessing all the social media all the time. I don't. I do a lot of other stuff during my day. So I have the Discord, but it's not being manned. It's not being manned. If you went there and chatting, you would actually have to let me know somebody was in there because I don't have it open all the time like that. I just don't. But it's there. So when it starts happening, I'll direct you guys there so there can be more interaction. I also got my Instagram changed up. So I actually try to post more geek stuff. It's not that I'm not as savvy on all this stuff. I just don't be using it. I just don't use it that much. I just don't. So, but because I want this channel to grow, I do want to hit 1,000 subs eventually at some point. I want those things there, and I have to start implementing them so we get it together. So it is what it is. What did you say? Dogs and cats living together. yeah, Aqua Techie. Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria. Shout out to Bill Murray for that shit. That's one of the funniest fucking lines out of Ghostbusters, dude. Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria. If we're right, and we can stop this thing, Lenny, you have saved the lives of millions of registered voters. And Lenny thinks about it. Get him out of here. That shit was classic. Art of Immortal. What are you talking about? The all new X-Men? No, dude. He's talking about Dr. Tia-San Johnson keep bringing this shit up because it's an affront to him, I know. Angry Man went into it yesterday on how much of an affront it is to him about this shit. If you ever seen or understand the old psychological techniques that they had to use to actually deal with certain brain injuries, one of the things that they did was stick a metal spike up your nose into your cranial cavity and pushed it through there to try to, get some personality changes out of you, make you forget some shit. Saying that Wolverine is in any way gay is like that. It's like that. It's exactly like that to me. Of willingly letting somebody try to fucking lobotomize me with a pipe through my fucking nose. It's the same thing with the safe space thing. The only difference is with this snowflake and safe space shit, it's like they doing it through both nostrils at the same time. Just, ugh. If you want to see what that shit is like, watch the end of Sucker Punch. That's what happens to her. Now, some of these techniques nowadays would be considered fucking unethical to even suggest. Back in the day, those were standard. It's like this, we're trying to stomach this stuff. It's just like this. It feels just like I would imagine that felt. So, not good. So, you guys got any questions? Let me know. I don't see any popping up in the chat right now. What didn't you like about Weapon Brown? Heart of Immortal. Weapon Brown is not my weapon of choice, motherfucker. That's why. Like, no, no. Wolverine is a masculine character. And he's not one of these characters that has a history of any of this because it's a complete affront. And over the last 5 or 10 years or so, they have been trying to make more and more of the X-Men characters gay. And they keep moving around the different characters to try to find which one it sticks with. Because for the longest time, North Star was the only one that was gay. And he got married and it was a big deal in the comics and all that shit. Nobody gave a fuck. Nobody gave a shit. It's like, fine, North Star is gay anyway. He got a twin sister he went around and dudes, they Wonder Twin fucking powers and shit like that. Of course he fucking gay. No big deal. They Canadian. What's that about? Nobody gave a fuck, eh? Right? Then they moved on to Iceman's last time I heard some shit about that. And Iceman didn't even come out as being gay. Some female character from the past showed up and told him he was gay. Just told him he was gay. And he ran with it after that. Now, that was kind of an egregious thing. It was an affront, but it didn't go anywhere, really. I gave a shit. Iceman gay. Why? Who gives a fuck? No. Discount the fact that he didn't have girlfriends and shit. No, he's just gay now. Okay, whatever the fuck. Not a thing, right? Other characters, these newer mutants that they made up, some of the other ones, I think they was gay. More this identity politics shit. But this shit with Scott, Jean, and Wolverine, yeah, it's a love triangle. It's always been a love triangle. Like Angry Man pointed it out the best, Wolverine and Scott hate each other because they're diametrically opposed. They're X-Men, but they're two types of different fucking dudes. Cyclops, for all the hard edge they've been trying to give him, is a blue pill motherfucker. He is simp of the first order. He is the first simp in the X-Men. And that's okay. He can be a simp. Nobody is... Oh, thanks, Dooley, for subscribing. Well, that fucking thing worked. That's the one thing that worked on this thing. I haven't seen a donation thing pop up on here to let me know that somebody donated. But the subscriber thing did show up. So thanks, Dooley, for subbing. Appreciate that. Scott can be blue pill. Wolverine can be red pill all day. That's who he's supposed to be. Jean Grey ain't no alpha bitch. I don't give a fuck how much they made her the Phoenix. She's only badass because she was the Phoenix. Before that, she was just Marvel Girl. With somewhat the same power set as Sue Storm. So, turning one of them or all three of them at the same time into some polyamorous couple would mean that Jean Grey was the prize in that shit. That is something about Jean Grey that makes her so wonderful that they just have to share her. No. What most people already know and classically know is that women are attracted to the nice guy and the bad boy. They'll settle down with the nice guy, but they'll want that bad boy all the time. Wolverine is the quintessential bad boy. He does all the masculine things. Rides motorcycles, drinks beer when he wants to, breaks the rules. He extra furry, he's short, he fight, he cuss, he smokes cigars. He get into bloody battles with motherfuckers. And he tell it like it fucking T.I. is. That's Wolverine. Scott is the golden boy. The first student, the prodigal son, wherever the fuck you have. He's like Xavier's son. He tried to embody everything that Xavier dreamed of. That's fine. Same thing as Jean. because she's the first daughter in the X-Men. That's fine. But what Jean Grey ain't is the catch. If you read Wolverine Origins, you know Wolverine has an affinity for redheaded chicks because of that first chick way back when he was a kid that he was into. It's a psychological thing. He keeps going after redhead chicks. Jean's just the last one. And he got some love for Jean. Jean got some love for him. But trying to make this new world sensibilities about how people love each other and who's together and who's not, and just pull them all into one relationship is fucking stupid. Fucking stupid. It wouldn't. No. Do that with somebody else. Not with Wolverine. Not with Scott. They've been trying so hard to give Scott an edge. They might as well tell him that he can shoot them eye beams out his ass too, or his penis. It'd be just about as interesting. So, I don't give a fuck for that. That's why. That's why I ordered it more. I'm not a fan of that shit at all. It just speaks to me as another reason why the comic book industry is killing their fucking self. They're jumping out the window and cutting their throat on the way down. Shit don't sell. It don't sell. And that audience will never replace the one you already have. Because they don't give a fuck about it like that. So, let's see. What else you guys got? Teacher's Pet got cold feet. The best line in the first episode. Yep. Teacher's Pet got cold feet, Arta Ibmore. Because here's the thing with... In those three people, Wolverine is older than all of them. Wolverine is old as fuck. Like in the hundreds. Why would he commit to something like that? Why? For a young dude and a young chick? He got more life experience than both of them. Put together. Multiplied. Even with as many times as Jean Grey has fucking died and come back. They treating her like Superman. The only way you make her ass interested for an extended period of time is to fucking kill her and bring her back. Because that's become her whole shtick now. Because until she was the Phoenix, she wasn't that damn popular. You gave a fuck about Jean Grey. Didn't even have a superhero name. She didn't become relevant until they killed her and made her the Phoenix. So, she's not the prize. It's just me. But Wolverine has had a more interesting relationship with fucking Storm than Jean. You could have made Gambit gay and it wouldn't have mattered. He like the ladies' man of the fucking crew anyway. Who's to say he ain't slipped up and been with some other folks? Who gives a fuck? Wolverine though? That's just taking masculinity and giving it a suppository. That's all you're trying to do. To put masculinity in some pink panties and have it bending over and taking it from the Cyclops. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, Akoteki, get woke, go broke. I don't even call that shit woke. I was having a debate with my daughter about that. Shout out to baby girl. Happy birthday for the 21. I had a conversation with her about that. That whole idea of calling that shit woke. That's not woke. And woke is like the most terrible fucking word you could use like that. You're not awakened to anything. You're not awakened to what? The fact that stuff is here? It doesn't even make any fucking sense. This is what I end up getting in deep conversations with, millennials and Z's about, is y'all think everything y'all doing is new. That shit ain't fucking new. Y'all haven't done anything new yet. Only thing you guys do new is fucking hashtag and Snapchat and turn people with no fucking talent into celebrities off of putting up pictures of themselves and fucking attention whores. And I'm not just talking about the females, the guys too, just fucking attention whores. That's what I can see that this generation is producing. I don't get it. I don't have to get it. I'm a Gen Xer. I don't have to get that shit. You free to do whatever the fuck you want to. It's like we were free to define ourselves. You can define yourselves. And if that's how you want to define yourselves, go right ahead. Have at it. I will not have it though. I will not have it though. Shit. Artie Ibmore, he fucking stupid. Gambit getting with a trans would be a funny comic. Look. If Gambit got with Mystique, that would fucking work. You know why? Because Mystique plays a lot of different roles and carries on a lot of different lives. And one of those lives I've seen is her playing a man with a whole fucking family. So why didn't you just say that Mystique was bisexual? Because that would have been believable. You know why? Because nobody would have gave a shit then either. She can change every part of her fucking body. Some days she got a blue vagina. Some days she got a blue penis. Who's to say? You already always speculated that she was kind of a lesbian because she was running around with Destiny forever. Sounds perfect. Why didn't you use her? Because nobody would have gave a shit. Because Mystique is not a traditionally masculine character. And all you're trying to do with this bullshit is tear down masculine characters. That's it. So that's why it's like, fuck it. It doesn't matter. Wolverine in a better relationship with Lady Deathstrike. Yeah, Double C. Wolverine and Deathstrike was a more interesting relationship. Because they actually had a connection. And it takes that whole thing of a woman scorn to another level. She turned herself into a fucking cyborg to get after that motherfucker. And ain't gave it up yet. No matter how many times she get ripped the fuck up, she'll be back on that bullshit. She will be back. She like Arnold, dude. She is coming. I'll be back. Yeah, exactly, Ollie. It was already in the story. They didn't have to create this shit. All they had to do was turn it up a bit. It was already there. But it wouldn't have sold. Nobody would have gave a shit. And part of this woke culture is that they want people to take notice of them. They want people to take notice. It's not woke. It's an attention whore. Nobody's paying attention to me. So I have to wake you up to paying attention to me. To see what I have to say. Which is nothing. It's the equivalent of a little kid with a diaper on, standing up and pulling her diaper down and saying, "Look at me! Look at me! I got pee-pee." It's that. I got a little TT. I got a little jai. Look, I got jai. I don't give a fuck. Pull your diaper up. Everybody got one. It's only two sexes on this planet. One comes in one set, one comes in the other. That's it. That's all they make at our factory. Got one or the other. Or, in some rare cases, both. So, it's not that big of a deal. If all you got to tell me is what's under your pants and how you use it, you ain't got shit to tell me. So, that's it. I'm not that damn interested. I know what I got, and I don't rub it in your face about how I use it. Not that big of a fucking deal. So, anyway. If that's it, no more questions. I thank you guys for showing up. It's like 3:30. And appreciate all the donations. Ali, Katz, Rashid, anybody else I miss, you will get those praying hands in a minute because I do appreciate the support for the channel. I am trying to grow this shit. I am trying to get it bigger, and it's a slow process, but it is a process. So I'm going through it. Definitely hit the like button. Thank you for your support. Check out the Discord. I put a link in there to join the Discord, so you can join it. If something pops up in there, you'll get the alert if you join it. If you don't join it, you'll fucking never know, and it won't fucking matter to you. So, other than that, find me on Instagram, Artisan MC. I put some stuff up there today. It's just little clips and shit like that. I don't use Instagram like that, but I will do better to be better. At least give you something to look at. But otherwise, thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for listening to my bullshit for the day. What is that up? I hope you have an enjoyable Mother's Day. Call your mama, even if she's terrible. Call her and say thank you. And don't listen to anybody telling you that dumb shit about how they was a mother and a father. You can only be one thing or the other. And if you ain't the mama, you the daddy. And if you ain't the daddy, you the mama. That's just how it works. You don't get to play both roles. So, as we get out of here, I got a song for the Skittlehead. I appreciate y'all showing up and showing your support. And I will catch you guys next time, most likely in another video that I'm doing that I'll hopefully get up today. So, peace, stay safe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace. Hit the music.
Nigga, what's up? What? What's your motherfucking problem? Nigga, just get jacked. They let me go. You a motherfucker. I don't want to hear that weak shit. What? Fuck that. I don't want to hear that weak shit. You old rat infested government forming cheese eating ass son of a bitch. You better have your vest on because you about to come up short. Called a brother one day getting out of a cop car. I know there's more to come, but the few that have so far talked to police about more than a court date. They're victims of a certain situation. I'll illustrate. Day-to-day pigeons popping all that junk about the dollars they make. A half a key in the trunk, mobile phone in his lap, and 10 cars in the shop selling more than coke. Inside orders are hot, but there's a catch to that. The boy wasn't prepared. He caught a case on a humbug. Now he's scared. No more hanging with the fellas drinking gin and juice. He's in a situation now where he can't be loose. Everybody wears jellies and sleeps on bunks, and it's easy to tell the men from the punk. So the ones who grind but run their mouths like bitches, once they hit the bullpen, they turn snitches. That's why I don't fuck with these old soft ass niggas out here running around here like they 187 artists. Chillers don't talk, and these old supposed to be high roll ass niggas. Ain't that a bitch? And every time I look around, instead of them sticking to the rules of the game, they let circumstances make decisions for themselves. Yeah, it's hard times, young Jed, but it goes a little something like this. The game is hard as wood, the max don't splinter, but yet and still trick-ass niggas wanna enter. And with ballot in hand, they rush to vote, to elect themselves into this game of dope. But yo, bro, the situation is real. Don't slip in this game on a banana peel. There's a lot of brothers running around, plucking collars, stuck up due to the fact they got dollars. Most of them punks getting marched by young bitches, put in the county and the punks turn snitches, giving an alias. Now he's set free or offered his job to be an FED. I don't understand how a brother could turn his cheek on another. Homie, when will you learn? They're talking to cops makes it 10 times worse, but they keep on talking verse after verse. Why do brothers wanna hop in this game? Running around, they don't know the mainframe, and when they're caught, they get to talking like Polly. But they don't wanna crack it, just bumping them, snitching. You know what I mean? Now it's the high rollers and not the fiends. Take off the Rolex and park all the cars. You're just a punk. Yeah, you know who you are. Why did you get in the game if you wasn't
Appreciate that,
so
Aquatech.
once you're having money and your car is whipped, keep talking to police, then you're gonna get bit. Cause you's a punk in a city of players. You's a stupid motherfucker. Double R, what's up with these old broke bus ticket type ass bitches out here? Huh?
Appreciate that, Ollie. Thanks for coming through.
They need to go get a motherfucking JOB. Quit blowing up these niggas big.
Dream boss for the day, Ollie K.
Here's something I want to tell all you hoes. Fuck you. Man, these hoes in the town ain't shit. Can't fuck with a nigga unless he's rich. Sporting gold ones, man, trying to make that mail. Hope hoping and hoping that you would treat her the nails. Hope
I can't treat, no, it's 89 back in 87 when I was stuck to the grind. Money flowing like a river, but ho, I'm not tricking. My zap code's hitting so hard the lights clipping. Girls on the bus stop, all of them copping a plea to get with the man who slangs tea, whether riding a Stang or a ragtop Beamer. The HOs want to get with who's cleaner. So boys from the O, all of those who make riches, what do? Dog bitches. Knocking and socking is an everyday thing. The turfs and the sideshow is where the boys hang. Ho on jock for a brother with a fade. Some Zeniths, some Vogues, and the boys got a name as she makes the block with a baby in a stroller. Her only destination to find a high roller. But ho, get real, run and go, get a job. Cause if I ever come to snatch her, I'll be riding a mob.
Who is that?
It's me, come on.
I didn't recognize you in that shit. Where your Mustang?
Ain't that about a bitch? These hoes out here think niggas gonna taxi him around on golds? No, it's 1990. Y'all hoes better get woke to these motherfucking old schools. Bitch, jump in the bucket.
The door don't open.
Double R, fuck that hoe. Tell her to make like the motherfucking Duke boys and crawl through the motherfucking window.
Motherfucking window. Classic.